Hello and welcome to Trucking Answers Live. It's 1 p.m. on Monday. A whole week went by and it's a disaster out there. But what's happening? Well, poor Joe Diffie passed away. If you didn't hear about that, he just passed away. That's terrible. I do hope that they'll put a jukebox up next to him because that would only be appropriate, really. I have some stock price updates. A Roadrunner is in the news. Oh, I love it. Do you still work there? You've got a lot more guts than I do. Your CDL Physical is not going to expire till June 30th if it expires after March 1st. They did finally postpone road check. About darn time, I would say. Holy mackerel. It took them long enough to announce that. But they did say postponed, and it will be back. So don't worry about that. Today, George Wilson I have for number one today. First in, I appreciate it. Wow, Bill Anderson is here. Misty is here getting paid and not working. That's pretty awesome. Aviator Trucker, hello, what's going on? Kay Wayne is here. Nomad Trucker is here. Today, I've got George Hearn. Hello there. Welcome to the show. Welcome everybody here. That is going on. Columbia, George, what's happening out there? So, let's see here. Where am I at? I lost my spot already. Trucker Hershey is here. Yeah, people are essential. Exactly. Apparently everybody's essential. How do you get to not be essential? I don't know how that works. JH, what's happening? K. Wayne, good to see you. Karma Moon, finally made it in. It's good to have you here. Mr. Chapstick, we are live. We're live. Will Bond 79, hello. King Bob made it. I love it. The Healthy Highwayman. Hopefully staying healthy, certainly. Yikes, I just lost that. Okay, Chicken Hauler, what's happening? My last day of company mandated quarantine. Oh, right. Oh, nice. On a cruise. I hope you come out okay from that. Those cruises they're petri dishes anyways. Yikes. Bluebird, hello. Cassius King Trucking, what's going on? Are you still rolling? There, I got some rates out here too. Reefer way up. Nice. Kenneth Snyder, you're busy. Good. Light Bright is here. I love it. Let's see. And I lose my spot pretty often for people that don't know. So Big Wheel. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Yes. The politicians were spending the money. That's true. And look, people are posting memes against Democrats, against Republicans. Remember, the Senate passed this unanimously. Okay, so everybody be mad at, everybody if you don't like it or whatever. So it was passed unanimously and just a voice vote in the House for a quorum. So, but the Senate passed unanimous. Jeffrey Herring, good afternoon. It's good to see you today. It's a beautiful day out today. Hello, GP Transco. I hope everything's going good over there. Yikes, are you still doing orientations? I'm curious about that. Alexandra, hello there. Yikes. It's good to see you here today. I hope you are parked somewhere halfway safe. Texas Trader, what's happening? The President, George H.W. Bush, is here. You may doze off. That's all right. At least you're still working, right, Johnny Hull? Because Challenger just laid 40 drivers off among some other companies. So drivers are starting to get laid off now. Now the downside of the upside comes. Ruth, it's good to see you, and I'll tell Gracie hello once I see her. She's out looking at the birds because it's so sunny, and I filled up the bird feeder. So she's got some bird friends out there she's trying to scare away. Not successfully. Todd Ifellow. Kevin Dahlberg, who killed Joe? What killed him? The coronavirus did get him, and that's what they said in the news. So that's pretty terrible. He's 61 years old. That is horrible when anybody dies for any reason, much less that reason. Steel Horse, there's no roller wieners to be found anywhere. I know. What is going on? These are apparently the only roller wieners you can find anywhere. It's Roller Wiener Monday, except there's no wieners. You can't. How do you have a wiener fest without wieners? Apparently some places you can still get them. I don't know. They should put a website up kind of like the McRib does, where you can go find a McRib on a website. Where can you get a roller wiener? So I guess some truck stops are getting them for you, and just some don't have them at all. Barefoot USA, have I been working? Yeah, cruising along, working here. Jose, hey, what's happening? James Faust, hello there. It's good to see you. The Critic, hello. License expirations are postponed in many states. Research, yes. GP Transco, the federal government said they're going to extend your CDL to June 30th and your physical to June 30th if you had a 90-day or more. So if you got one of those 30 days where they give you a month to get yourself back in shape or whatever to pass, that's not allowed. But otherwise, yeah, you're going to extend. And they're going to extend the hazmat as well. They just talked about it. It isn't official yet. But they're going to apparently extend the hazmat, the time that when your hazmat expires, for 180 days. But that's not official yet. They're working on it. It's going to happen, but it's just not official yet. Texas Trader, not working and bored. Wow, there's plenty to do. Red Wine 5, hello, keeping it real for truckers. I always keep it real, yo. What's happening with that? Christopher Van Dyke, hello. Dan, hey, from Michigan, what's going on there? Vamp Priss is here, hello there. Let's see, where did I go off? I lost my spot again, as usual. Okay, Cassius King, I'm on my way to the house for today. Got to deliver on the trailer. Got to make tomorrow. So you're still rolling on your rates. Let's see, what do I have for van rates here? They're saying van rates, which I wrote down somewhere. Oh, right. Vans are $1.85. Reefer, though, $2.16. So up. Pretty good. So you're doing $2.16 on it. Not bad. At least, right? Generally more is what you're seeing. Diesel's $1.95 a gallon. Yeah. Gas was $1.14 in Maryville. A friend of mine posted a picture of Maryville, Indiana, except you can't go anywhere. So, not great. James Walker, hello from Dallas. Preacher Paul, I'm back still rolling across Montana. Are they still open up there? What did they pass? They haven't passed anything yet. They're working on passing the hazmat. They're going to extend your hazmat expiration date. That didn't happen. Your CDL expiration now expires June 30th. Your physical will expire June 30th if you had a 90-day or longer physical. These are for only ones that expired after March 1st, so you don't have to just try to get back because they're not doing it. My wife had surgery last week, Tuesday, and I took her over there because it's elbow reconstruction surgery, and so right across from there is where they do a lot of DOT physicals, and that place, nobody in there, so they're not doing them right now. Right across from orthopedic there. Todd Highfield, there are no long lines. Nobody standing around for corona testing in New York. Where do you go to get it tested? Like here, you can't just get a test here. And they took our temperature before we went in there. And I couldn't go in the back. I only can go up in the waiting room. And that was Tuesday. I can't imagine what they're doing today. Crew Chief, hi Mark. Had to take the day off to be live. I appreciate it. We'll miss Joe Diffie. I know, that's terrible. Are we going to stand him up by the jukebox? I sure hope whenever they have a memorial or whatever, there better be a jukebox in there. I mean, that's super appropriate for him. Did a lot of great songs. There's plenty of reason to be mad at Congress. You don't have to pick just one. Cassius King. Yeah, that's true. It's not just this. We should be mad at him for lots of stuff. But there's memes on both sides. People are posting, oh, it's because of this, because of that. It was passed unanimously, so I don't want to hear that it's one side or the other. GP, when are you going to start investing in flying trucks, sky traffic? Yeah, that's true. There's no airlines. Where are our flying cars at? Fuel surcharge. Too bad you lease operators have to pay more for profit. Yeah, the more fuel is, the better off a lot of lease people and people that own their own truck do. You're better off with a high fuel price and an efficient truck. So right now, not helping. Jack Daniels is still rolling, hopefully with Jack Daniels. So GP Transco's doing orientations in an altered way, safe and keeping a distance among the drivers. Can't stop hiring. The nation needs drivers. Yeah, depending what they're doing. Because I'm reading about Challenger laid off 40 drivers, and there's tons of places laying off. So it just depends what you're doing. But if you're hauling something that's needed, absolutely right. New York plates, people are fleeing New York finally. They finally got the message that they should leave the city, which they should have done a long time ago. But they're being stopped at the borders, apparently. They're not allowed to go on past where they were. Precision Logistics, hello there. At Love's, you can't even get your own drinks. I know. What the heck is with that? Got to get the roller wieners for you. At least some places are still getting them. Be sure to ask for the biggest wiener on there. Did you see Florida using the weigh station? I did. The semis, this is great in Florida. Semis are being allowed to bypass the weigh station, and they're pulling cars in to check them. I love it. What a twist of events that is. Wild Bill had to deliver Meals on Wheels today. Hey, that's pretty good. You know, my grandfather did that for many years when he could still drive. This would have been quite some time ago. But yeah, he delivered Meals on Wheels. It's a great thing to do. Is that in that car that turned 200,000 miles? You delivered Meals on Wheels, which you didn't say what kind of car it was. You're home and headed out tomorrow. Jerry Roth, I always thought I would enjoy playing Hide the Wiener. Well, now you got to have the cashier do it for you. I don't like Wiener. Love the tuna roller. They have tuna rollers there? Wow. Keep New Yorkers out of your neighborhood. The only one left in New York is Snake, right? And Ernest Borgnine. That's it. Plenty of roller wieners at the Loves in Menominee. Just grabbed 2 of them a little while ago. Were they letting you grab your wiener by yourself there? Because I have heard from many people that you're not allowed to just go up and grab them like that and stick them in the buns. That's what I've heard. TA in Jersey still has wieners. Are they just out? Because you can't even go anywhere basically and get your own food anymore. I'm at home and don't have a roller grill, but I just made an air fryer wiener instead. Tasting better. Wow, an air fryer wiener. I wonder how that would work. Semis are told to roll through and cars are using the way station to get caught up. I know. Isn't that great? Oh, it's so great. I wish I could see it. Fleet Nav Systems is here. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. It's good to see you. I should do these cards since I was here and forgot about it earlier for GP Transco. They're still doing orientations. Still need a job. Hey, maybe you're laid off from Challenger. Go get a decent job. Right? And Fleet Nav Systems is here. They're the Geotab experts. Do you have a Geotab question, an E-log question, any kind of question? Let's hear it. Let's see what it is. Slap it up there. And I should click that. All right. I'm not new people. I do a lot of clicking. Let's see here. Your truck is getting the DEF system in Alexandra. Worked on in Bedford, Pennsylvania. It's the safest time stopped in for a hot minute. Yeah, no doubt. You had to break down to get there. But at least that's super annoying, especially right now. Because where are you going to go? I don't even know if any hotels are open. Hello from Jonesboro, Arkansas. Bipolar. Hello there. Kenneth Snyder, what's going on? Freight is starting to slow down. Yes, what they're saying here is from Freight Waves. In the second quarter, freight could fall 24%. Yep, and it won't be until 2021 that you see January of 2019 rates and levels of freight. So they're not expecting it to pick back up until at least sometime in the fourth quarter. But the second quarter, which starts in a few days here, freight will be down. They're anticipating 24% overall. See, it went up for a minute. Everybody's like, oh, this is awesome. But like here, the mall's closed. Everything's closed. Howard County, which is Kokomo area here in Indiana, about an hour from me, they don't even allow you to buy non-essential items at Walmart, at Meijer or anything. They only allow essential purchases. So stuff at the store that's not essential, that they say is not essential, you can't buy. So that's the problem. Nobody's buying stuff at the mall. Not that anybody did. Nobody's buying things out there. Everybody's worried. They don't know if they're going to work. There were 3 million filings for unemployment. That's all going to hit trucking eventually. And now everybody's like, oh, I had a ton of people write in. Oh, Mark, I do a flatbed, which is down. Freight's down for them. Should I get a van? Should I go get a reefer and get into that? See, that's the problem. Everybody's going to get into that, forcing rates down, and there'll be just a glut of trucks. That's coming. That's the other side of this. What's up, Mark? Working hard, says Beto. All right. Well, good. Somebody's out there doing good. I had a round trip to North Carolina to Minnesota, paid $2.25 all miles. That's not bad, right? So you're still doing good, but fuel's down. So that's no good. Alexandra. Think of leaving Werner Dollar General to run flatbed glass. Wow. George Costanza. Wondering if the flatbed market is going to tank. There's no shortage of freight. Look, right now, I don't know if that's going to be any good for a while. Who's going to build? I mean, building houses is like 90% down right now because people are concerned about what is going to happen. So would I change if there's tons of freight at Dollar General? Probably not. Ricky, gas station in Cleveland was 86 cents per gallon. Nice. Wow. But was anybody getting it? Nobody's going anywhere. That's almost the lowest price I've ever seen. Trucker Hershey saw diesel for $2.14 at the Pilot. That's not going to help people. Almond, who's Joe Diffie? Yikes. Joe Diffie, singing star, mainly in the 90s. Had a lot of sons. He had a lot of songs out there, right? Prop Me Up, Beside the Jukebox, all those kind of songs. Hello, D.A. Simon. Right now, I can't think of any of the songs that he had. I'm hoping the baristas at Love Stay After This Takes Me Back. Take the Temperature, the Baby Weight, John Armstrong. That's what they did at, that was somewhat embarrassing because they wouldn't let you in the building when I was taking my wife over there for her surgery. They wouldn't let you in, but that's the only way they could take your temperature. And so if you wanted to do it, you got the glass thermometer. And they go, that stopped a lot of people from coming in. And people were all separated in the waiting room, too. They had the chairs all spaced out and everything. When the doctor came to talk to me, too, he stood way over there to talk to me. Alexis, gas is still down 94 in Lancaster, Ohio. Needs some of that cheap gas down south. Well, that's pretty cheap. Gas is cheap because nobody can go anywhere, so... It's day 12 of the Corona hostage crisis. I know. What must they be thinking over there? I saw a commercial for them the other day. I thought, wow. The Shocker. Myself and Mrs. Shocker bugged out of the country, enjoying the peace and quiet. Where would you go outside the United States? Guam? Hawaii? We increased out to OTP profit sharing performance to 8 cents. Okay, so nice. Another couple cents to motivate drivers. Hopefully it's enough. Is it working? And I don't know if you go to New York City, but are you getting any people wanting to go, or is anybody giving you grief, said they don't want to work? I don't know. What's the other side of it? What are drivers saying to you at a company? Luke, I hope this ends soon. Yeah, I don't think it's going to end soon, unfortunately, because it's going to take a while. GM this week said they don't have a date to restart their plants. Ford wants to start on the 14th, Honda the 14th, Toyota the 20th. Let's see, I didn't see about Mercedes and Hyundai. So it's going to end. How long then does it take to get cars sold again? Nobody's buying a car. I mean, it's a total disaster. Some dealers are closed. My dealer is only open for service. Todd Highfield, hey Mark, a bad tornado hit Jonesboro, Arkansas. I saw that. Tell Bipolar, hope he's doing all right. Yes. Are we going to the martial law? I don't know. They threatened to quarantine New York City. If you saw that, they threatened it, but they're not going to do it, I guess. Stay where you're at. Volume is horrible in the flatbed. I know they're saying volume is down on flatbeds, and although the rates are okay on it still, volume on it is down, and it won't do any better. Alexander 379. Let's see. Where did we go here? I love rock and roll, written Joe Diffie. He was a writer also. He wrote a lot of songs that other people sang. So Northern Michigan, 0 cases. Any county surrounding it? Well, they're in the middle of no place. The less people. 8% of the cases in the world are in New York City. How about that? Since when are they respecting truckers? Only for right now. Look, Denny's. Denny's says this, driver 15. If you get a to-go order from any Denny's, this is for truckers, okay? You'll put driver 15 in the code thing there. You'll get 15% off your to-go order at any Denny's. So you can walk up there and get your order at Denny's, and they have pretty good food. I like Denny's, so. We had a tornado hit Rockford on Saturday. Really? So not that far from here. Hello from Washington via Vermont. All right, what's going on? You said you were off, so how long are you going to be off? And what kind of stuff do you haul where they let you off for like a little bit of time anyway? The Sapp Brothers has ended their paid parking also, which I talked about the other day. So all the Sapp Brothers, 17 of them apparently, no more paid parking for now because we love truck drivers. And it said, we'll just consider this basically day by day on whether we bring it back because we like you, but not enough to turn it off. And look, and I don't mind. Somebody's like, you shouldn't care about paid parking. I don't, okay? I think the Sapp Brothers is a private organization and they can charge for parking if they want to, but then they can't put it out there like, oh, because we respect drivers, we're not going to charge them. Well, then what happens when they start to charge again? They don't respect drivers again. They shouldn't be two-faced about it. Just say, look, we're private and we charge for parking, and then at least I can respect it, but don't double talk it. That's what I don't like. I like that worse than anything else. The Juice is in the top 5 of all running backs. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right. Love them in Naked Gun. So you don't think the respect for truckers will last after the crisis? Peterbilt 379? No. Absolutely not. Had a load of water for Sam's Club. Was told to get there as quick as possible. It was a day early and got told to wait for my appointment. That's great. Are they going to pay you for that time that you wait? Geez. And this is the problem that people are writing to me as well. So people are writing and saying, look, so I run this over hours legally, so not really over hours, but say you run 15 hours to get somewhere, and then you can't get unloaded because there's either a long line or they're not taking you early or whatever it is. So the hours of service is not being that helpful, giving people the extra hours. You can only get so many trucks through a warehouse at a time, and if they're not taking you early, you're still just stuck with it. You're still stuck. Ralph, good afternoon. It's good to see you. Aviator trucker, there's no respect now, so it makes you think it will happen after the virus. Yeah, people are just happy now because they're getting a few of their little stuff that they get at the store. They don't really care. How long did it take for Italy to reach its peak? A while. It took a while, but look, there's a much higher percentage of old people in Italy, people over 65, than in the United States. Much higher. It's like 30-something% there. It's in the high 40s there. So, and they have less people, so the percentages are bigger there. So, I can't, and they have all the pasta. I don't know if that does them any good. I'm not sure. But I know there's a lot higher percentage of older people. Fleet Nav System is planning to live stream again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Is that a good time? Looking to start doing this regularly. All right, 3 p.m. live stream. with call-ins. I encourage all flat drivers to drop their trailer and grab a cheap van, no bad trucker. But then once everybody grabs a van, then the rates on vans come down and you can't get anywhere. Already people are waiting a day, 2 days to get vans unloaded. So you're going to get in, say you get a load for $240, but it takes you an extra day to get it off. That doesn't make any difference. You didn't make any extra money. Shipper Transport in California laid off 145 drivers, Brooks, and there's tons of companies. It's either busy or they're laying off. I'm finding a lot of places. Some places are laying everybody off. So, and then some places don't have enough work for everybody. It's up and down for everybody. They'll quarantine New York by surrounding it in a huge bubble and have a spaceship cut out the state and toss it in the sun. That'd be great. See episode of Futurama where Fry got a cold for the reference. Okay, I don't watch that show, so that's good. It depends how she stroked Italy's wiener. Yikes. Getting lots of recreational shooting time. I forgot how many guns I have. The shocker. Well, those are a hot commodity too, because at least in Indiana, gun stores are also exempt and are a necessity. So there you go. And they're selling out of everything. Again, I was at Meijer yesterday. No toilet paper. That's 2.5 weeks. They haven't had any paper. So there you go. Oh, for DPT. Here's that gigantic roll of toilet paper. DPT. So there. Take your thin toilet paper somewhere. What's going on over there? I got 11 more just like that one. So DPT, love it. Saw it, love it. Hope you're doing good over there. Stay safe. I'm getting lots of recreational shooting time. Right, I'm lost myself. Hello from Eastern Pennsylvania. Nothing against New Yorkers, but we're now seeing so many New York plates, of course. And we're scared. They're scared too. Everybody's scared. You're scared. I'm scared. Yeah. And there's nothing really you can do about it. It's really tough to do because the Constitution allows travel between the states. Between and among the states. So somebody's going to sue eventually. Picking up where did I go here? You know the rule, take a photo and send it to Mark for proof. We can get GP Transco. I get them, but I still haven't seen one of these trucks. Picking up at the Nestle plant, which had zero damage. Guess the town of Jonesboro got directly hit. Huh. $500 fine for being out north of Seattle. But who's doing a fine? Now, I've seen all these governors, including here in Indiana, have, a stay-in-place order or whatever, but it's not really, an executive order is not really enforceable. How do they fine you for being out? Is being out? They talked about it here in Indiana. The state police came out and said, look, we can't stop you for being out, that we can't enforce an executive order. Isn't a law. It's not a law. The governor can't just sign something like that, executive order, and make a law out of it. It has to be passed. So how would they fine you for being out, just out in Seattle? Like they said, that's not probable cause to stop you in Indiana. So pulled into a lot that was shared by a Walmart and Sam's Club. People cheering for me and 3 other trucks. Really? Well, you should have taken a video of that because you're going to need to play it again in a few months when people are throwing tomatoes at you and hate us again. Run Monkey Trucking, what's going on? The best weather coverage on YouTube is right there. It's good to see you. Alexander, to the general public, truckers are the scourge of the road. Yes, we only get respected when people need something. Folks generally disrespectful and ungrateful. That's true of most folks for almost every reason. David Miller, it's a 1K in El Paso. What about jump? They're very crappy. What about that mean? Off since May 7th till May 15th. Thank goodness I'm on salary. Off since the 7th. Wow, that's a good salary to be off all that time. Yikes. See, that's the problem. At least you're getting paid. No, I didn't get paid for it. Dropped it at a drop lot. Okay, well that's just as good enough. You didn't really have to wait for it, right? A Nimbus is virus free. That's correct. The dance floor, a Nimbus 3, for those of you that know, is virus free. I haven't seen that anywhere. Italians also have a lot of white sauces and cheese, both very fattening. Well, we don't want to dump that out in the clear canals either, so none of that helps. The high school in Woodland, Washington has opened up their gym locker room facilities for drivers to use for their restroom and shower. I-55 exit 22. That's pretty good. I've heard of some other schools around the country, too. They're at least allowing parking and everything. That's really good. Finally, right? Why don't they do this always in the summer, then? When school's not being used, why not have truck parking at the schools? Holy mackerel. James has his toilet paper. I estimate my run-out date with everything is probably the end of August, sometime maybe middle of September. I'm still at DEFCON 5 here, which I do have on the whiteboard. I have my DEFCON list up there. We're currently rolling at DEFCON 5. Yeah, there will be calling open. We'll take geotab questions or just would like to hear how this coronavirus is affecting everybody on the road. Thanks for driving these days. All right, so also that virus will come back around in the fall to kill more people, and the worldwide stay-in-home rule is increasing air quality. It is, but you just can't stay home forever. What happens then? I mean, already the economy is basically in the dumper. What happens if everybody stays home for, say, a year until a vaccine is developed? Then what? Who will be working at that point? No one. No one. Because people need money to go out and buy the things that we all move around. You saw gas for $1.41 in Michigan? Yeah, it's getting super cheap now. Save the ammo. If you have any, you'll need to save it. You can't get it anymore. I want flag capacity to drop. Does Walmart have ammo yet? I don't know. I never go into a Walmart. Some of the fire stations are also giving free food. I did see some firemen had like an exit blocked off where they could give drivers food. Roger Penske says it's a Mostaccioli Monday. We might have to change it to that. And that wouldn't be bad in Italy, mate. That's probably what they have over there for Italian trucking answers, which I franchise out. Run out of food soon. Everyone going to strike. Well, other than toilet paper at Meijer and paper towels, the store's been restocked. It's basically full. Most foods are available. Canned foods are 50% low because I was looking at everything. All the milk and eggs and cheese and all that, that's all restocked. Everything's full. The chip aisle, which was decimated by people hoarding chips, is all full. Drinks and water is all refilled and everything. So there's still plenty of food at the store. Walmart has ammo but no beer. Well, now there's a problem. Social unrest is coming. Yeah, once people get stopped leaving their state, yes. Next gen. This is one of the signs, right. You could set my truck on fire and roll it down a hill. I still wouldn't trade it for a Coupe de Ville. Right. He's got an 8-foot bed that never has to be made. Red Monkey Trucking covered the Jonesboro tornado. You were first on the scene because it's Red Monkey Trucking on your side. I love it. It's the best weather, the only weather on YouTube worth watching. Don't rely on Walmart for ammo other than maybe shotgun shells. I don't rely on Walmart for any reason. You mean to tell me we still have a constitution? It would seem not. It would seem not because people willingly, willingly give it up. And then you can't convict them to, take it back. But that's how it works there, right? People willingly give it up. After I get my 1-year experience, I plan on driving for GP Transco, Peterbilt, and maybe become an owner-operator. All right, well, then you can go get that long-nose truck that you want. They don't have any available there, but you may find that you really like a Cascadia because if you're going to become an owner-operator, getting great fuel mileage is a great big deal. That's extra money in your pocket. Kenneth P. laughing at the tomato throwing. Yeah, that day's coming, though. Do you feel like it will reach its peak this year? Yeah, we're going to peak out this year, and then it'll fall back off. But it's going to get way worse before it gets way better. They just extended, the president just extended the social distancing thing, which I would rather he said physical distancing, to the end of April. He wanted everybody back at Easter, but now, which not sure what the day is on that this year, but then he said the end of April, and it should be physical distancing, right? Social is how people stay connected, so don't tell people to be socially distant. The thing with Italy is the amount of 70, 80, 90-somethings, exactly, still in the workforce, yikes, and interacting with the public. These old ties don't retire until they expire. Who wants to work when you're 90 years old? Holy mackerel. All this shows the incompetence of the politicians. Every move they make or don't make has ulterior motives. That's always true, no matter what they're doing. Either about this or any other reason. What's going on, Storm Chaser? I know. He needs to get that car that'll take all the beatings and stuff. Is riding motorcycles considered essential? Been a lot warmer. Well, look, you're at least in Indiana. You can go out wherever you want, and if you're riding, you're not around other people, so you can still go do. Gas is cheap, especially on a motorcycle. So yeah, to me, absolutely, get that thing out and get it out there. As long as everyone has some brain, stays inside, all the idiot that want to party and gather, let them do it. The virus can kill those people off. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just need to party like it's 1999. The club that I usually go to where I have my Village People tribute band down at the Manhole, that's been closed, and it's just been very disappointing. I just haven't been able to go down there or anything else like that. That's why you're going to have train horns, and when a car cuts you off and flip the bird, they're going to hear the song of your people. Be careful. Don't, but when you have somebody else's name on the truck, right, you got to drive a little different than if you own the truck. Keep that in mind. The same other business with the jump houses should bounce back after the lockdown. Oh, right, that's true. The place over here, the jump house closed over here. Also, Amazon in Staten Island did a walkout today at 12:30, demanding they get infected. Oh, nice. Now, the one in Lebanon hasn't had any problems yet, just south of me here, 35 miles south. I don't understand the problem here. The local post office delivers your mail every day. What gives? They deliver mail here, too, although I do let it sit there till the next day. I've seen folks on motorcycles a day or so ago. Yeah, I think they're out and about today. It's super nice, out nice and sunny. I saw where this one way station was open, but giving free food and having a sign saying, "We love truckers." Oh, nice. That's good. I wish they, you know what, if they loved them so much at that scale, they should put the inspection sticker on the window. That little sticker that goes in the corner of the window and say, "Here you go. Here's 90 days with no inspections." Expediters are critical now with medical necessity. Yes, right? Now they get to go wherever. Absolutely. The Amazon warehouse is affected, but you would expect that. There's, many thousands of people that work there together in close proximity. So those are the kind of places that I'm surprised they don't close. The car places had to finally close themselves. And Wabash National here, thousands of people, they're still open. They said they're a necessity, even though nobody's buying trailers. That's what it said. Nobody's buying trailers anymore. If we parked our trucks, we wouldn't have tailgates. I met all my wives in traffic jams. That's right. There's something women like about a pickup man. That was the name of the song, right? That's one of his popular songs out there. Poor Joe Diffie, dead at 61. I'm independent contractor for FedEx Custom Critical, the Bach channel. I have plenty of work for medical supplies and government loads. Freight side loads board, not too many jobs. That's the problem. Depending what you haul, may work good, may not work. There's 100% effective treatment. The FDA approved it for red death flu. Really? The electronic sign like construction zone said, "Thank you, truckers." Oh, that's pretty good. Did somebody hack it or did somebody officially put it on there? You order from Amazon all the time. How am I going to order potato cannons and laughing gas? Can you get a potato cannon? I do the Amazon. I said do. That's funny. I check on Amazon every day for toilet paper, and all they have is Chinese toilet paper, which kind of concerns me. I bought a toilet that has a built-in BD who needs toilet paper. All right. I don't think a driver's strike would be a smart thing to do. I see where some truckers are talking about shutting down, but I feel like it would not be a smart thing to do. The only time... I don't like the national strike either. Because I don't think it'll be effective. But right now would be a good time for drivers who are at a company that hauls critical supplies to not drive for a day, because you have even more power. You can get power like this when you have the power right now. Now is your time to do something if you want to, certainly. Because now people will say, well, now we're so busy, I don't want to do it. And then once it gets slower, they'll say, well, it's too slow, I don't have the money to do it. So when are you going to shut a company down, a single company, and say, no, we're not hauling your freight anymore? And drivers going into New York City, I just don't understand it. I did talk about this a little bit yesterday on my rant, but the real problem is going into New York City, there's no parking, and it is really a hot spot for what's going on. So 8% of the world's cases are in one city. Would I haul in there? I wouldn't haul in there anyway, really. But now I would really have to think about whether I want to go into New York City for any reason. Fuel surcharge went to crap now with cheap prices. See, all the lease and owner operators have to pay more of the percentage of their cost of fuel. Right. The lower the fuel price is, the higher the cost to the owner operator if they get fuel mileage, if they get good mileage. I think it's funny that all the fresh food is stocked. Don't they know they eat healthy, they'll survive? That's true. When you go to the produce section, Meyer, that was always full. No problem. They did run out of bananas for a little while, but otherwise, all that is stocked up. Peanut butter's back in stock, too. How's trucking looking forward? Going to be looking at the end of April and a bit worried there won't be much. There's always trucking. As we see, 300 million people still have to eat. These checks that the government is going to be sending out will be hitting people, and they're not going to be saving those for a rainy day. Believe me, that's going to be TVs and, that kind of ammo for some people. But that stuff, a lot of stuff will be sold with that. I guess unemployment is going to go up by another $600 a week for 4 months. So people have that extra money. There's all that money coming, and there'll always be people that want to spend money. So no problem. And it's time for Gracie to come into the show and see what she's up to. She wants to know, what is everybody doing? Why aren't you petting her? Well, we can't because she's asleep, really. Mexico's blocking Americans from coming into Mexico. That's somewhat ironic, Ruth. How funny that is. If you wear it, make it a parrot. We always say that. Always, even now more than ever. I don't know why, but make it a parrot. Let's see. I drive line haul in L.A. I have to admit the traffic has been easy. Oh, right. And here's what they talked about that, too. Let's see here. Where did this go? Okay, they did a study of GPS, and the transit times are down. Meaning the transit times are faster. There's a lot faster transit times by like 15% in some cities. So because of less traffic. So that's great, except all those people that are not going out, many of them are not making money or at least worried about making money. And so they're not buying products, and there's less drivers that they need overall in the future. So there you go. What happens if folks can't afford cigarettes? They'll steal them. That's exactly what will happen. Easter's the 12th. All right, so he wanted it open on the 12th because he always said fully open on Easter. I want the churches full and businesses open. But now he just extended to the end of April. So I don't know what they're going to do. Will these cities, will they be extending their closures? Boy, that's a big problem too. Let's see. And so I would like to assure you that by utilizing the most modern IT solutions, GP Transco has adapted this situation without sacrificing efficiency, functionality, and performance. The CEO of GP Transco. That sounds like something a CEO would say. But the company, as long as you're still hiring that, right, we're good there. We're an Italian newspaper that Chef Borodio's made a full recovery. Oh, I have a can of his stuff over here too. So, boys, thank God for that, because what will we do without his delicious raviolis? If we quarantine too long, we won't be able to build an immune system to the virus, or future viruses. Well, then you'll need the government even more to help you then, right? Did you see the fundamental pastor that said this was a hoax died? I did see that. He called it a big hoax and then died from coronavirus. So super ironic on that. I'm sure it was lost on him. Reports of no traffic in Nashville and Atlanta at rush hour. Yeah, that's what I'm saying here too. Lafayette, you can just breeze around at rush hour. But Chicago, I'm looking at the map at 5:30. Hardly any traffic compared to what it normally is. Cash is King Trucking saw a group of 30 motorcycle riders all cuddled up at the entrance of the rest area yesterday. I wouldn't say cuddled up to them, but okay. Unless they were like Goldwing riders or something like that. Rather party like it's 1959. Wow. The Manhole. Yeah, that's where I play, with my Village People cover band. We play at the Manhole. Nice club there downtown. A lot of leather there. I love the fact my truck has a train horn. That would be pretty cool. What are you going to spend your free check from the government on? Stocking up on toilet paper? Well, when you have this much toilet paper, you don't have to stock up on that. How much better is the 2018 style Cascadia version of the 2016? The new Cascadia, just because of the lights, is worth getting for the LED headlights, but they changed the inside around and all modernized it. Well worth it. It gets better mileage too, at least in our case here. Last night, Big Huge Mike saw a teal GP Transco truck parked at the Petro in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Was surprised. What the heck? Parked at the Petro. They should be driving by me so I could see it. So trucking companies aren't buying trailers. No, right now trucking companies are not. They said trailer sales are down, way down. But Wabash National has convinced the government that they are an essential service and they are still open. Everybody's over there working because they've been talking about it. Because it's right here in Lafayette, Indiana. I've been rolling and moving cheap sodas. All right, get that Sam soda going. Hey, Mark Moki. Hope you're enjoying your Monday. Tyler, I always enjoy Monday. It's my favorite day of the week. Well, Bill, who do you drive for? All right, do you drive for? Well, I don't ever say who I drive for, so that's the thing of it. That keeps them out of my videos, and that's what I recommend to most people. And also, I don't recruit for them. So no recruiting going on here. Let them recruit for themselves, right? How do you like driving for Venture Logistics, Michael Muller? I don't know, although they've called me. I don't know. I don't drive there. I do know a couple drivers there, and they're off without pay. So they are not being paid at the moment. But I do not drive at Venture. They have called regularly almost since I moved into town. That's good policy you have there. I appreciate it. We're surprised to see you for the first time, GP Transco. I can't get my Mustang parts from Summit. James, well, they won't. Oh, because Summit is closed. Summit Racing is probably closed. Nice. Aviator truck or Amazon Prime drivers now do most of the cutting off since there are less four-wheelers. Notice the drivers are speeding and tailgating. That's all the time. There were just more drivers to hide them. And sometimes I'm surprised their trucks can get up to speed without any parts flying off of them. Holy mackerel. Are you working right now? I know you work for an LTL carrier, and it seems like the man for those sort of things has probably gone way down. Yeah, working right here. This is my job. Everything else is just an avocation, especially since unemployment pays better now than our jobs. For some, they did talk about that too, that for some people, they're not going to go back to work. That's the problem of giving people at $600 on top of unemployment. So some people will make more on unemployment than they made at their jobs. So when the job does call them back, they're going to be like, no. So that's the problem of paying people an extra $600 for 4 months. Flushable wipes are better than TP, takes up less space, and you get cleaner. I haven't used toilet paper in a truck stop in 3 years. Well, that whole aisle at Meijer is been gone for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks now. So you can't get any of those. Can't get any of them. I disagree. National crisis, not the time to demand more. You need. Okay, well, the time to demand it is when you have power. So you have power now, and so you're more likely to get it now. At any other time, people don't do it at other times, so I assume they're not going to do it now either. But the time always to take action is when you have power. Yeah, did you see those people coughing on produce? I did, licking ice cream. Yeah, a couple of them got arrested. Don't not go in the store and cough on everything. They considered that a terroristic threat. And arrested people. Some of them were doing it for YouTube prank videos. And I don't know how they do that, because any coronavirus video, this is like an insider thing. Anything you do that on coronavirus, you can't monetize that on YouTube. They take off the monetization on anything like that. So if you're doing a video that's got that in it or anything, no monetization. So that's what YouTube said. Because they had a ton of people putting out false information and stuff. And so they just stopped monetizing all those videos. Bananas, 18 cents a pound in northern Michigan. I don't know what they are, 39, 49 cents. I don't know. I just pick up 6 of them. Premium driving job is pulling around an MRI machine. I've seen that, to small hospitals, remote areas that don't have MRI machines. I've seen those kind of things around. Yeah, I always wondered if that actually gets turned on, what happens? Do all the cars get sucked up to it or anything? Been waiting 2 days for a live load at Nestle. See, this is the problem of this. That's the problem of getting into, you say, all right, well, the rates are up on these loads like water. Okay, so I'm going to go get a van and run water around, or I'm going to get a reefer and run this loads. But the wait time, depending on the load, people are talking about the wait time being so long that they're not making the extra money from the load. That's the problem. And AZ, are you being paid for that time? Government stimulus equals more guns. That's true if you can get one. Some places are out. Some places are out of guns. They ran out of guns. Walmart turkey for $12 for a 10-pound bird. Is that a good price? I heard flatbed trucking in Oregon is way down. It's down all over. You will get detention. All right. For 2 days, they ought to pay you something. Red Monkey Trucking. Tell Gracie you're petting your vicious pit bull. I've seen that dog. I don't know who's more vicious, her or that dog. All that money printed out of thin air. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I don't know why the government taxes people if they can just print money like it's nobody's business. If the unemployment amounts go up any higher, they'll be more profitable to get fired and park your truck. I enjoy waiting times in front of my TV on my Lazy Boy. Well, look, here in Indiana, the maximum you can get is $390 on unemployment. So if you got another $600 from the government, which will be given, that's $990 net to you every day, a grand net. So it depends on what you make. So people that work at, I don't know, like in the mall, at Forever 21, because I'm always in there getting clothes and stuff. So like at Forever 21 or one of those places, Hot Topic. So those places, those people won't get $390. So say they get $200 plus $600, they're going to get $800 net. That's more than they make at the store. So what is their incentive to go work anywhere else? They don't have one. That's the problem of it. Who do I drive for? The president has asked the question of who I drive for. I always keep that a secret, as we say on the show here. And that way they don't get in my videos. They don't bother me about my videos, and I don't bother about recruiting for them. So if coming to Texas from Louisiana, expect long delays at the state line, making people quarantine. Doesn't apply to truck drivers. Right. That's some states are stopping people from other states. That's going to go to court eventually. Ivan just fueled at Just filled at a Nashville truck stop with an N95 mask and latex gloves to go inside, and drivers are mocking you. I'll have the last laugh when they're sick. Okay? I don't know where you get the mask, but maybe you had it already. And I did see a few people at Meijer with gloves and a mask on. So I'm not doing it personally, but if you want to wear it, go ahead. I do think it's going to turn into kind of a Japan, Korea-like thing here soon, where a lot of people are out in masks, I think. But I'm out at Meijer and out doing stuff, without a mask. So I'm guessing I might have to haul reefer for a while due to all of this. I don't see dry van doing good in conjunction with the economy, the heady trucker. The problem is everybody's thinking the same thing. Reefer, everybody's going to get into that because flatbed is down, and sooner rather than later, there'll be a glut of trucks doing that too, because you can't get the trucks unloaded fast enough. Now they have 5 times the trucks coming in, and they just can't get unloaded fast enough. Can't put 1,000 trucks in where they can only take 200 at a time. So who do I drive for? The president just asked us that. Running essential load as a team. Can we run over? Absolutely. It didn't preclude teams. So yes, absolutely. It didn't say like only singles or whatever. Running the essential load. But remember, when the load's over, the exemption's over. That's the other problem of going to New York City, which I didn't really talk about yesterday. So you go to New York City, you unload your load. Right then, your exemption ends. You're supposed to take a 10-hour break if you were over your hours. Now, you could drive to the nearest safe legal parking on personal conveyance, but that's it, because your exemption ends. Even if you're going to get another load that's exempt, you're not allowed to run over unless you have the load. That's how it works. So the exemption's over if you don't have the load. So you have to park. So I know you can go to the Waldorf or whatever, like they said, but you don't get the exemptions in between. So that's the problem. Where's everybody going to park? He's not rising this year. The Observer, if this stated in China, how in the world did this virus, how did it start in China, right? Get in the prisons. That's $1 million answer. Well, I don't know. Guards come and go in the prisons. So masks, gloves, but just as important is eye protection. Oh, I did see one person, not this Sunday, but last Sunday at Meijer with goggles on. And I thought, do we have to go to the point of wearing goggles? I wondered about that, and I'm not putting them on. So one person, though, I saw, they were like swim goggles, too, although I guess that would work. Alexander, I breezed through Harrisburg. People are doing 70 to 45 because how light the traffic is. You can really get places now. Trucker Beetle, Bailey, and Shasta. Your company's looking for 2 drivers. Really? I would thought that your company wouldn't need a lot of people. So you should not have to run over for your team, Stillhorse. That's true too. I mean, as a team, you don't even need to run over as it is, really. But I guess one person could just run over while the other one is sleeping if somebody wasn't feeling good or whatever. So that certainly could be an option. But it didn't preclude teams. It didn't say only singles or whatever. So it should apply to everybody. Keep your bills. I was in Dallas on Friday singing This Town is Becoming Like a Ghost Town. Nice. I always sing New York, New York. The Louisiana Army National Guard just booked 80 rooms at the Marriott in Shreveport. Sweet. Those guys get to stay at the Shreveport Marriott. Pretty nice. Mark, why do I never discuss owner-operators? I'm not an owner-operator. I'm a company driver. There are tons of owner-operators that have channels, and that would be the place to do it. I'm not an owner-operator. I don't know that much, just what I read about rates and stuff, and really don't have a desire to become one. A lot of people, it works out for me. Just not a thing. I'd rather be company driver. Should I complain about this, Trucker Hershey? This Freightliner truck only has 2 position on intermittent wipers. P.5. Yes. I think you should write it up. It's probably just, it's not working. I mean, what is this, 1990? Come on. Can you get a shout out for your channel? Yeah, everybody go check out Alexandra, new channel. Back with Korean Mafia. Yeah, put your channel name, which I can't think of the exact name off the top of my head. So, Project Penske is now in the Icelandic Mafia because it's colder. Flatbed companies in Oregon, loads are down. Flatbeds are down everywhere. They said flatbed rates are down at the moment. Let's see what I rate. I wrote rates down here. Okay, flats 220, right? Reefer 216 and vans 185. But the amount of flatbed loads is down. So there's some owner-operator stuff. Victor, I love your channel. I've been a fan for 2 years. I appreciate that. From the beginning. Not that it's any better now. Learning from your experience and knowledge has made you a better driver and understanding the power in your CDL. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you hanging in there for 2 years. Believe me. Loving the traffic. I got 4,100 miles last week legally. I know. So there's more money right now. Right? Get it while you can get it. Once everybody goes and rents a van from, Penske or Tripco or whatever, extra lease, there's not going to be more freight. 25 men at the Kennedy Center yesterday announced they won't pay their employees till after 3rd. Well, in the Senate, it was a unanimous vote. So I guess call your senator because they voted for it. Whoever your senator is, they voted for it. Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. They all voted for it. And we put them all in there. Did you hear about the lady who got arrested for coughing on 30,000 in vegetables? Yes, I did. She went in and coughed on the vegetables, and they arrested her for terroristic threats, and good for them. But they said, what? She's been a problem in the community for a while, they said. Red Monkey Trucking, if you haven't been told lately, we appreciate what you do. Thank you very much. Well, I appreciate you saying that. And it does matter, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody being here, really. I can't do this if people don't come in, so I'm always amazed when the number turns just from 0 to 1. Walked into a terminal, Jeanette, saw a huge stack of boxes, non-perishable, water and cleaning supplies. That's when I told I could have anything I want, and it would be payroll deducted. Nice. Look, it's like a company store of food. Oh my gosh. Would be you know what? Okay, you should say okay, and then go call the health department and say, you got to come inspect this new grocery store and put them out of business. Because if they're going to charge for groceries, they need a grocery store thing. Now it is not good. Getting paid by percentage on flatbed, power to mileage pay. This is the other side. Right now, when rates start to go down in this flatbed because there's less and less loads, the rates are going to go down and you're going to lose money. That's why for me it's always been I like mileage pay better. I know this is the mileage I'm going to get. Now I guess they can just reduce your mileage pay and you can quit that way. But the percentage always floats. It always floats. Wheelbound, what do you recommend? Can't log into clearinghouse account and can't get a job. I did see that the clearinghouse was having problems because anybody who wants to change jobs has to log into the clearinghouse. I would talk to the company and say, can we do this later or whatever? If you're trying to get a job somewhere and don't have your thing set up on the drug and alcohol clearinghouse. Because of all this, they should give you a waiver. There hasn't been one put out by the DOT yet, so we'll see about that. That should come soon. Otherwise, there's nothing you can do, really, because they're required to do it. Until they are given an exemption or a waiver, they're required to look at the drug and alcohol clearinghouse for you to see if you have a record in there. Did delivery at CVS Distribution Center. Got empty in 45 minutes, Hunsley, where their average is 3 hours. Wish they worked this fast in the future. That's pretty nice. In and out and off to the next load. I've been trucking 3.5 years experience. Clearinghouse doesn't give me response. Exactly. Sometimes it goes down. The government is overloaded with stuff right now, and this is a problem. Red Monkey Trucking, use your wife's bra for a mask. I saw that in that video. That was pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. The flatbed markers are dead zones now. The coastal states have freight, but all going to metro areas. Right. The manufacturers are closed, so it's bad and going to stay bad for a while. There's nobody. The problem is there's a place right down the street here across from the mall that builds sheds and stuff. But they're closed. So they're not going to be ordering the products to build sheds. And all these other places that are under construction, they're not going to be ordering construction supplies while they're closed because you can't build on if you're not open. So for a while, I think flatbed is going to take a big hit at it, I think. I'd be very nervous in the flatbed sector and probably take every load I can get there if I was in it. Michael Muller, I got a letter from the company saying you're an essential employee if you get stopped. Some people have sent those in to me, and what the police have said, at least here in Indiana, they actually talked about it on the news, that they hope it never comes to that. There are not stopping people that are just traveling, that it's not a primary stop, that they won't just stop you from being out. Let's hope it doesn't come to that where they walk up and go, papers. That's not something we want. Can you show me your papers? If you get the extra $600 unemployment and they end up calling you back to work and you refuse, wouldn't that be the same as quitting, making you ineligible? It would seem like it. I think so too. I think that once they call you back, you have to go back. But I think people will milk it as long as possible because, You don't have to look for a job. They extended the time that you do not even have to look for a job. And believe me, if people are making more on unemployment than they're going to make at work, they're not going to be that excited about going to look for another job. Aviator Trucker, if this doesn't end soon, I visualize Jan Michael Vincent and the Blue Mule doing it into the Capitol. The Blue Mule, I don't remember that. All I can think of when I hear his name, of course, is Airwolf. So, not sure about that. As far as masks, is that what they called Airwolf? I don't think so. As far as masks go, unless Parrot starts making masks you can't wear it, what they should make is a mask that fits over your blue parrot. Let's get them working on that. Ansel and Penelope Rain Blossom Smith. Oh, I love that. That sounds very official. That sounds so upstairs, downstairs. The wife and I are getting over COVID now, both infected in Portland. Do you know how you got infected? All I can say is wear a mask. Walking the 15 paces to the bathroom left me needing a nap. Do you have any idea how you might have gotten it? And I'm sure people think about that and would know, probably don't know. But do you think a mask would have helped you? You know, that's the question. Do you think a mask would have helped? Oh, there's a snack for Gracie, Ruth. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And she'll get snacks for that too. Because fortunately, the pet stores are still open. Oh, let's see. If you want a gun, you should have already had it. That's true, because they're not around now. Hauling boxes, that would still be a good job. LTL freight is down. A friend of mine makes, though, fortunately for him, he's one of the only people I know of a couple in a union. And he makes the cup holders where you go order at the drive-thru and you put the 4 cups into that cardboard thing. He makes those in Hammond, Indiana. He said it couldn't be any busier there. They're super happy. And that's a union job of all things. LTL freight is down at your company. However, the dedicated accounts are running strong. All right. Joe Diffie, so sad. M. Hopper, I know. It was terrible. I read that. I'm like, oh, I can't believe Joe Diffie died. What a terrible thing. I'm quarantined. Ultraviolet showing mild symptoms. My company, Tank Star, isn't paying you. Right. Unemployment system is overloaded. That's true. I need Trump money if this doesn't fix itself by June. You're going to get it. You're going to get that check. And file for unemployment, of course. You can get that, so the money's coming. Heady Trucker, doesn't look too good, but I'll just keep positive. When the time comes, I'll take what I can get. Yes. Dustin B., what's going on? The virus isn't freaking me out still. Nice. At least Gracie doesn't have to worry about that. T-shirts with the biohazard symbol are going to be popular now. Oh, that's a good idea. Alexander, the channel's called, that's right, A Trans Ladies Vlogs, right? So head on over and subscribe. Check that out. Hello, Mark. Made more in breakdown time than deliveries today. 1 blown recap. 1 replaced fender. 1 replaced airbag. Now getting a parking brake switch replaced. At least you're getting paid for all your time. Canadian Tanker Yanker. That's what matters. Comfortable man. Good afternoon. It's good to see you. JH. Thanks for all you do, Mark. I appreciate you saying that. I'm happy to be here. All outgases are medical grade, so no layoff for you. Right, people hauling all the gas to the hospitals and stuff, that'd be a good job to get into. You could do this if no one tuned in, just won't be as fun. It wouldn't be as fun for, well, all you would be having fun doing something else. That's true, and believe me, at the beginning of the show, several years ago, nearing 3 years now, it was doing it where hardly anyone tuned in, so... You think freight will go down 24%? Yeah, I do think so. They're calling for that, and I don't see why it wouldn't. No, nothing's open. So this has an effect later. Like the stores have stuff, but you can't go in the mall. Like I can't go in Hot Topic and get anything right now like I normally do. So all those places are closed. Radio Shack's closed. Every place is closed. And that has an effect later. So none of that's being hauled around. And once the rest of this gets worked out, then freight is going to go down, and they're not talking until next year to catch back up just to where we were last year. Freight is going to drop. Jonathan, will there still be trucking jobs? I'm having issues. Yes, there are. I would be careful about finding a job, but if you have to leave, then you have to leave. But yeah, I mean, look, everybody's got to eat. 300 million people have to eat. People still need stuff. I mean, you can't go a year without buying stuff or whatever. But freight, it drops off and picks up. Everybody's nervous. Much of the country is nervous. 3 million people filed for unemployment. Those people are not going out buying a bunch of clothes at Abercrombie. So that's the thing of it. And so, and then people that supply the places that supply the clothes, they're out of business. So Like General Motors, they don't have a date to come back, they said. That was on the news. All the suppliers, they are not working either. None of those people are buying anything. That's the real problem. That's why everybody needs to get back to work. Red Monkey Trucking's wife bra is a mask. Yeah, apparently it works. I deliver stone and we're busier than ever in Pennsylvania. The wife is shaking her head no here, so I guess that's not going to happen here. So, clearinghouse issue. Tell the employer to take the screenshot of the error page. Tell the government they can't prevent your company from operating if questioned. Yeah, look, sometimes I think you're right. Just talk to them and say, if you can't get in, let's just move this on and get in there later. And if you find something in there, fire me. Or if you find something in there, I'll quit, right? Or whatever, give them that kind of out. But tell them you'll sign a thing that you understand that you have to quit if they find anything, That way you can get in. I just switched jobs, but I've had the same previous job for 2.5 years. That's good. Do I still need to contact the clearinghouse since I just did a drug test Friday? You have to be signed up in the drug and alcohol clearinghouse. And I did do a video about this, which is on the channel. All drivers, when they change jobs, have to be in the clearinghouse because now, as of January, the new job has to look at the clearinghouse for you. They have to seek you out of the clearinghouse and see if you have any drug refusals or positive drug tests. So that's what the clearinghouse is about. And if they don't, they can't hire you. So every driver has to do it. And every company has to check you once a year anyway. So at least by January of next year, every driver will have to be in it. But for drivers that want to change jobs right now, when it's hard to get in it, this is a problem. So try to get yourself registered. It only takes a couple of minutes to register in the Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse. All you're doing is putting your information in there so that they can see if you have any drug refusals or positives. But they're required to look at it. And they didn't get an exemption from that yet. I saw it coming and grabbed a contract that'll keep me from going for a couple more weeks. Then I'm gone. Okay. Geez, Marks, it's White Line Fever. Blue Mule was a WT900. Oh, okay. All right. See, I'm not a huge fan of Paul Michael Vincent. So, shower, stop spitting in it. Okay. Yeah. Gross. Papers. We don't need no sticky papers. That's the problem. When a cop comes up and says, give me your papers, that's it. That's the end of the whole country. Time for a hand washing break. Yes, we should do a hand washing tutorial. Yikes. Ansel and Penelope, Rain Blossom Smith, which I love saying. No idea where I got it, and I really doubt a mask would have made a difference. Eyes, ears, too many entry paths. All right. Well, that's curious. If you doubt a mask would have made a difference, why do you recommend that people wear masks? I'm serious about that because right now you can't get one in this town. But if masks don't help, why do people wear masks? And you're right. Their eyes and wherever else, whatever orifice. If a $1,000 stimulus check changes your life, you don't have much of a life. Well, it won't change people's lives. It will change Best Buy's life when everybody's in there getting 55-inch TV checks. TVs, believe me. $1,300 a week gross, good for a local job, home every night. Yeah, that's not terrible, right? That's $65,000+ home daily. That's more than many road drivers make. Go ask a Western Express driver if that's good money. Ruth, please tell people to fill the census paper and get it in for their state to get the site. Oh, right. Have you done your census? Okay, so that's a good idea. Here, I got my census thing in the mail. Right, I opened it up and did it. It only took a couple of minutes. You go online. There's a code. Just put the code in. It brings up your address. You answer a few questions. Bingo. And it's done. You can also mail it in if you want to. But I did mine online. The census, it's required. People said, why are they doing the census during this? They have to. The Constitution requires accounting every 10 years. It's the only thing that they do in the Constitution that they probably hold to. But you're required to. So go fill out your census form. It doesn't cost anything. Trucker Hershey thinks $1,300 is great for that local job. All right. Nevada Maverick, hot topic. You got to get your shirt somewhere. The Heady Trucker Radio Shack still exists. Are they not open? I have questions. Milk transport never ends. Correct. Milk transport is a good job. They're advertising in Fair Oaks again. Fair Oaks, Indiana, about 50 miles north of me, for drivers to haul milk. So what did one casket say to the other casket? Is that you coughing? Yikes. Wow. Fleet Nav, we're there now. Had 8 people tuned in last Tuesday, though, and we're very glad to have those who joined us. Yeah, all right. I think that's the way to do it. Radio Shack is closed. Oh, yikes. I think there's one Radio Shack open in Texas. Well, that's where they started. If I get the virus, my company's paying you 2 weeks vacation, not going to count any sick time or vacation time, plus they will sterilize my truck. That's pretty good. That's more than a lot of places are doing. These drivers, they said, at Challenger are just off. And I had a driver write in who didn't say I could use this, so I'm just going to say I had a driver write in, and he is being tested for the virus, but he's not back at where his company is. He's like on the road and had symptoms, so they tested him, and he's waiting for the results. So the company said, if you don't bring that truck back to the terminal right now, we're going to charge you with abandonment of that truck. So that's the difference between you, where you work and where that driver works. Bring that truck back. We don't care that you might be positive, and so you'll infect all these people coming on the way back or whatever. They didn't care. You might get sick, too sick to drive. They didn't care anything. Bring the truck back or we'll charge you with abandonment. Love it. The last time I put my face in a women's bra, you had to get married. Yes. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson says he will walk around shaking hands. 1 week later, he tested positive after giving it to Prince Charles. Is that how Prince Charles got it? I did hear that he got it. It seems to be only famous people getting it. So, Tom Cruise was back in America driving around, too. I register with the clearinghouse. However, I'm not sure if my boss knows to check it because trucking is just a side hobby. His real job is being a doctor. Well, Transport King, actually, he should actually hire somebody that does this kind of work then, that knows about trucking. He theoretically doesn't have to check it until next January. So until then, I guess you're okay. And it wouldn't affect you. It would affect him. Maybe after this is over, whatever, you can kind of clue him in on it. And I don't know how companies query the database for the driver, but there's a way to do it. He has to sign in as a company and all that. So, Christina, that's my prescription for that. Oh, yeah. Christina Harper, Maryland, is saying it's a misdemeanor to break a stay-at-home order, and it'll be up to a year imprisonment and a $5,000 fine. That's crazy. I don't know that they can do that. How do you know that, they're still letting essential people travel? The whole deal, I don't like that. I just don't like it. In America, you should be able to travel. Once you can't travel, how are you different than a prisoner? You're just in your house. When did the clearinghouse requirement start? In January? That started in January. You could sign up last year, and that started in January. Red Monkey Trucking, if anyone has the Driver Pulse app, it has auto link through it to do the clearinghouse. I have to do it now. Oh, okay. All right, well then Pulse app, you can auto link it that way. Yeah, Jan Michael Vincent. Yeah, it's Jan, isn't it? Where can I get hand sanitizer? Walmart's out of stock. Well, I don't know about Walmart. As you know, I don't ever shop in there and don't recommend it. But I haven't been able to find it anywhere. You can make your own. If you have your 91% isopropyl alcohol that you use every year to make your windshield washer fluid, which you should still have a lot of that left, you can make your own. There's tons of videos about how to make your own online. Michael Swift, give me your papers is coming. That's the thing. They wouldn't have enough cops to stop all the traffic that is at least still out in town here. They'd have to have roadblocks. But as for a credit card at the census site, you're on the wrong site. Yeah, don't type it in. Make sure you get it from the actual paper, census.gov, I believe is what it is. What's it say here, right? Yeah, my2020census.gov. All right, that's what it is. Why is everyone freaking about a hand washing? That should be all the time. That's the thing of it. Look in there. In the store, all the cleaning supplies are gone. What are people living like hoarders before this? Like a hoarder house? Why are people just cleaning their house now? And where'd all the hand washing stuff go? I don't know. Red Monkey Trucking Chapstick. Go buy a bottle of 100% alone and empty a third, and then put 70% iso chapstick. What kind of bottle of chapstick are you talking about? That's got to be a typo thing. Give me a big bottle of chapstick. Fill the bra up with it. I don't know. You're more likely infected through your own hands than someone sneezing or coughing near you. Well, but your hands would have had to touch something that somebody else touched, right? So, Kevin Dahlberg, broke my arm at work as a local driver. What do I need to know about workman's comp? Well, I've never filled it out, but go to your state's website and tell it you need to fill out workman's comp. Your company should have a thing there to do it as well. Because apparently you're an employee, say, hey, I need to do workman's comp. They should be able to walk you through it. Has anybody filled it out? I've never had workman's comp. You're certainly entitled to it if you broke it at work. I chose to remain incognito. All right. But you're required to fill out the census. The census, they have to take it. All you're doing is telling them who lives in your house. So even I don't think that's too much, and it's a constitutional requirement of the government. Do I need to do the Denny's app to order with the 15% off? That's a good question. Now, at Denny's, you can do driver 15 to go. I don't know if you could just go to Denny's.com and order that way or use the app. So, but that is the code for it. I meant aloe gel and then replace. Oh, with the alcohol. All right, that's better. I say, where's this huge thing of chapstick? Yeah, aloe, if you can get it. If you can get it. No, Al Johns, where'd you get that? How'd you get a sanitizer? Nice. What is the exemption name and number? I don't know that there's an exemption name and number. It is a legit exemption. I want the gyms open back up. I'm getting out of shape. Oh my God, when everybody goes back to work off of this, the gyms are going to be overflooded with people. All we just sit at home and eat. Any ELD or Geotab questions going to be headed out at 2:30 for Fleet Nav Systems. Yeah, there should be a ton of them right now. Trump activated 1 million troops. That's how they'll stop vehicles. If it comes to it, that would be really something. That would be really something if they stopped every vehicle. Heard on the radio the corona scare might last another 18 months. I was hoping this would be over. If this lasts 18 more months, they can't close factories and, Abercrombie and all these for 18 months. You can't do it. You cannot have people off on unemployment for 18 months and pay them $600 a week. You just can't. It's impossible. You have no economy at the end of it. So I don't know what they're going to do, but that cannot be a solution. You need to understand one thing. All you really ever had was the illusion of freedom. All you had to do was test the limits. That's true. That's true. Steel Horse says, get a lawyer. That's not a bad idea. Get a workman's comp lawyer. We need a raised or hazard pay for all drivers. Some companies are paying it. Here we have GP Transco paying extra couple of cents. We've got some companies like JB Hunt giving a flat rate to drivers. Other places are paying a bonus based on your miles. There are companies doing it. Some companies, like we saw a driver here earlier, got to be home the whole week and still make $1,300. So it just depends where you work. And then here we have 40 drivers at Challenger being laid off without pay. 1099 workers, so sorry, no workman's comp for you. No, you wouldn't be workman's comp because you choose to not be a worker. You chose to be an independent business person. Isn't that great? You choose to be independent. Well, you're independent. You have to provide your own insurance. You can buy that on the open market for yourself. But you're not a worker at 1099. You're an independent business person. Shouldn't we wait to do the census until after the smoke clears from the virus and the numbers are going to change? Well, it's just the April 1st, which is what it says in there. Who's living there April 1st? So I don't know when they should do it, but they do have to do it. It's a requirement of the Constitution. Steel Horse says it's complicated. All right, so if it's complicated, get a workman's comp attorney and have them take care of it for you. Because there's a bunch of rules and stuff, it'd be way better to have an attorney do it. I certainly agree with that. How did you put the pick on the feet? I know. How do you get that on there? I can't even get any sanitizer at the store. Alexander, it's always strange to come home and see your boyfriend wearing your bra. That is a problem. Keep my bra locked in a suitcase in your truck over the shoulder. Yeah, well, I mean, once you wear it once, too, that's hard to explain. You say, well, I always wear them. So, good tip for vehicle cleaning. Take Lysol and spray it outside where it sucks in the air and turn on the recirc on the AC all the way up and it will go through your vents. Well, do we think it's being sucked in the truck vents? If that's the case, I mean, we're all doomed, basically. You don't have rights. You've got a list of temporary privileges, Alexander. That, as we see, is very true. Kim English, do you know anything about E.H. Hamilton trucking out of Indianapolis? No, I sure don't. Charles R., love the content. I appreciate that. What have you heard about E.H. Hamilton? Let's ask that. You must have seen an ad or something. I don't have a house to lose. Oh, then you don't have any problems. You still have to list that you live somewhere. Alexander, LTI is paying hazard pay bonus. Dude up top is still working on it. All right, so there's be another company that'll pay a one-time flat fee bonus. That's pretty nice. No elections. Trump for 4 more years. Dems will be committing suicide. Oh, that's not going to happen. There's going to be an election. People have talked about that. I don't think so. Where do you get these cool things to put on there? DA, that's cool. The increase last year was not enough. I figured that seasoned drivers should be paid up to 78 cents a mile. Well, yeah. Drivers over the road should get $2,000 a week. I've always thought that people should start at that and then work up from there, especially drivers that are gone. If you're going to be gone for a week or longer, no way. You think I just accidentally said my company name? Amazing. My company gives us a tube of Clorox wipes and a fresh bottle of sanitizer. Wow. Where are they getting it? You can't find toilet paper. Down to 24 rolls. Well, I have 12 of these. Each of these is 4 mega rolls or 1,000 feet. And I have 23 rolls on my toilet paper countdown. So I estimate end of August, beginning of September. So, because this is over 3 miles of toilet paper. So that leaves me here at DEFCON 5. Last week I was given a document to exempt my travel ban because I had all agriculture. I know, there's drivers showing them to me, and that's going to be really horrible. That's going to be really horrible. When they not going to... Papers. Give me your papers. I mean, holy mackerel. Michael Swift, this is the first time I joined in. This is good. Well, thank you very much. I'm here every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. D.A. Simon, wash your hands. Where are you getting these cool... What the heck is this one? Soap. Nice, you got soap too. Oh, they haul furniture. Oh, well, George Wilson. So if they're hauling furniture, that's closed right now, right? Levitt's, right? Because you're going to love it at Levitt's. I think they're closed now. I think all those places are closed at the moment. That can't be like an exempt place, because you're going to love it at Levitt's. Hey there, I saw on Fox News, Angelica, right? A trucking segment with Swift and Knight hiring right now, and their schools are open this Friday. Interesting. All right. I heard some places were closing their schools or ending training for at least a period of time. And I thought, I wonder what drivers are going to do with, in that. Alexandra, 23,000 feet is 4 miles. Yes, that's correct. Yes. I'm around 3 miles, probably 3.5 miles. Just these are 2.5 miles. It's 12,000 feet. Spray your butt with Pam so it won't stick. That's not a bad idea. That's something you can get too. It's in the status bar. You type your message. A kitty in a box. No way. That's great. How do you get a cat in a box? What does Gracie think about that? Oh, turns out she's not impressed with it because she doesn't get in boxes. She said she likes to sit on top of things, not inside of things. It's pretty good though. I have to wear a strapless bra. The straps dig into my shoulders. Well, Bill, yeah, that can be a problem when gravity takes over. Wondering why all the homeless that live in the woods by my terminal are not getting the virus. They have no toilet paper or hand sanitizer. Jeanette, isn't that interesting? Why wouldn't it spread through homeless camps? What about California? There are a lot of people that are homeless, especially in San Francisco and LA and that. Are they getting this as well? When E.H. Hamilton talks, people listen. Yeah, right. I remember that. Will Bond Mark does have a cool and informative show. Well, look, I appreciate that very much. You're running the AC warm enough? Yeah, running the air here, no problem. I did over the weekend. Now today, it's not on today, but over the weekend it did get warm and ran the AC. Yep, it ran good. So I was like, haven't used it. I better test it. Also saw GP Transco tile truck in Nebraska and Teal and another in Idaho. Well, you've been getting a lot of miles going on, but yet here I am, less than 150 miles from them. No such truck. They must have trucks that are stationed out somewhere else and fly drivers out to the trucks from orientation so that I don't see one. That's what I think happens. George Wilson, a premium job is driving for casket companies. Must wear a suit and tie. Unfortunately, like the casket companies in here in Indiana, who I can't think of their name, Baker, it's some kind of B, right? Casket company, they're probably going to be busy. They will be busy. They'll probably need drivers. Topless Tuesday at the Can Yard, Canadian Tanker Yanker. Wow, that's not... Al Johns wears a bro. Oh, yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with it, if people remember that episode. How do you get a cat in a box? Get a box and open it. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Try having a size E there. Wow, Bill, how about that? Poly is spreading to homeless. They're just not being tested. I think that's the problem. That's half of the scare of it now. Now that more and more tests are coming out, there's been like an explosion here in Indiana of people with positives. But they don't say whether the people are really sick or just get symptoms or whatever. They're just like, oh, now there's 3,000, now there's 4,000. But then each day they do way more tests. Like one day they did 200, then the next day it said we did 1,200, then we did 2,000. So the more people you test, the more cases you're going to get. These aren't new cases. These are cases they just found. So I think that's part of it too. Dustin was offered a job at GP Transco, and they have a terminal in Chicago. Yeah, the Chicago area. And they have one in California. That's true. I could pick it up. If I didn't pick up on time, I'd have to go to Chicago. Yeah, but I think that they station trucks. They like cover their logo up and drive them away from here, and then have drivers pick them up in other states, so I don't see one. If you run out of toilet paper, try a leaf. Oh, nice. What's this one? Or a maple leaf. Good. That's pretty good. While Bill's having problems finding sizes, I recommend Hot Topic. Glad to see fellow drivers here, and thank you for doing this, Smoking Papa. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Hey, good news. The road check, remember that May 5th to 7th? It's delayed, but not canceled. The only thing they haven't canceled, they're just delaying it. They're going like, you know what? We're just going to delay it for a little bit. So, and here's an interesting stock. Where am I at? Yellow, $1.65. $1.65 for yellow. Holy moly. Oh, wow, Bill, there's a cat. That one I've seen. Bates Casket. That's it. Batesville Casket Company. Yeah, in Indiana. I bet they're busy getting drivers, probably. USA Truck is 331. It is down. USX, though, is 336, and it went up. I wonder why they would go up. What about Roadrunner? Okay, so we always talk about Roadrunner. Is anybody still there? You should leave. That's just my opinion. What you do is up to you. Their stock today is $3.99. And what did they say they're going to? They're voluntarily going to delist their stock from the New York Stock Exchange and put it as over the counter. In the fourth quarter of last year, they suffered a $74.2 million loss. And a part of their business is automotive. Because they talked about, well, automotive was a little slower, so we suffered a loss. How do you think they're doing now with automotive? Probably zero, because they haul a bunch of GM parts, they said. So that part is not working at all. Their stock's $3.99. It's down 12% today. They are not being delisted. They're delisting it on their own. They said that would help them save money because of all the reporting requirements. Yeah. Now they don't have to report all these numbers that we're all interested in. So Roadrunner, I don't know what to tell you. But when it closes, if they close, I don't want drivers coming to me going, well, I had no idea. I thought everything was fine. Okay, please look at this for 2 minutes while you work there. Cassius King Trucking, I just got a call about a reefer load from southern Minnesota to New York City. Not interested. What is really good? I'm curious. What kind of thing? What are they paying on a New York City load? If you run out of toilet paper, use tortillas. No way. Those are too delicious. A bra is for ladies. For men, it's called a man's-ear. No, it was a bro. If ever remembers that Seinfeld episode. Wild Bill recently saw his first TLGP Transco truck, but yet here I am and nothing. YRC is creeping up on death watch. I know. $1.65, they're going to be delisted pretty soon themselves. You know, they cannot stay at $1.65 forever on the New York Stock Exchange. The heady trucker, I saw 30 GP Transco trucks on the road all over the country. I miss it so much. Well, you can always get back out there, but if you can, but I haven't seen any. And I'm on the interstate all the time. The coyotes after you at Roadrunner, no doubt. They treat you kind of like Western, Steel Horse. Oh, do they really? Is that part of their problem, that their poor treatment? I mean, but other companies with poor treatment, like U.S. Express, their stock was up. But here, I mean, they just cannot make money. They keep selling parts of their business off. If they constantly sell I wish I would have shorted them like a year ago. We'd probably all be rich. But they keep selling off parts of their business. I don't know how much is left. And I know part of what they do is automotive. And now their stock's down 12% and they're delisting themselves. That is a real problem. A real problem. It would bother me to no end. I use New York, New Jersey, or anywhere. You refuse it anywhere around there, especially now. D.A. Simon. Yeah, you have all the best. A motorway? Come on. Articulated lorry. I love it. Are you from another country? In my extreme upper 30s, so is Hot Topic a good place to buy clothing? You're in your extreme upper 30s. Oh, absolutely. Dave Johnson, that's where I get a lot of stuff. I also Forever 21, which is right next door in the mall. Certainly, go in there and get all the latest fashions. Head down to Abercrombie. The bro is also called the man's ear. I don't know. In the Seinfeld episode, was an argument between what to call it, a man's ear or a bro. Didn't they end on bro? Okay, I didn't realize that. I thought he ended up on bro. The bro Kramer and Kadzen called Seinfeld. Yeah, Kramer, right. It was Kramer that made it with George's dad. When will you advise people to leave Yellow? Cash is King Trucking. Well, I don't know that. See, I don't know if Yellow is on the same path as Roadrunner because they're such a big place. Where Roadrunner just constantly suffers loss and has to keep selling part of its company off. So who would buy Yellow, or what would happen to Yellow? That's the thing of it. What would actually happen to them? I mean, staying there, is it a great idea? I don't know. Their stock is going to be delisted. They're not doing great, but it pays really good right at the moment. I don't know. Roadrunner just seems to be on a path of, road to destruction. I drive through New York City weekly, but it's like 4 a.m. and I stay on the interstate. Okay, as long as you don't get off the interstate. And apparently you can spray your vents with Lysol. Cassius King Trucking, I don't mind driving in New York City. I just don't want to go to the current U.S. epicenter. That's the problem. And they're saying they're having problems getting drivers in. Now, when you stay at a hotel there, it should already be sanitized. Did you hear Hillary Clinton's text? No, she didn't text me. Trump promised to make America first, and now that the U.S. is the world leader of confirmed cases. Well, look, we're first. No matter what it is, I'll tell you, we are first at everything. I'll tell you that. No matter what it is, we're number one. Chicks Dig Hot Topic and Chuck All-Stars and carry a skateboard. Yeah, there's some women in there, too. They always look at me funny, but I don't know. I don't know why that is. You buy your clothes at Chess King, all right? Would they go like in Hunt and run international? Serenity Now. Oh, that was good. When you're fully vested for pension, cash is king. Then you go to another pension-paying union company. Oh, and the president did say also about that. I think they're going to let you take like $100,000 out of your 401k, but you have to pay it back in 3 years. $5 is your minimum for New York City from Minnesota. It was paying $5,800 for how many miles? For how many? And, if it's 1,000 miles, that's not bad. If it's 2,000 miles, that's not great. And would they come up? Did you say, hey, I'll do it for $5? And what did they say about that? I'm always curious about that kind of stuff because maybe you'd get it. I think Yellow will go like overnight. It will get bought up. It will get bought out, the union busted, and driver pay reduced. That's not going to be great. People don't like their pay to be reduced. They're going to have to, they'll get their whole thing changed around. Roadrunner $286? No way. It was $3.99 at 11:30 Eastern time. Oh, holy mackerel. It's down another $1.03 today. And it was down 12% at 11:30 from its open. So that's something really to consider when a company says, oh, we lost money, we're selling everything, and our stock is way down. That is really that's a big problem. This is not a problem, though. If only Roadway could haul toilet paper around. Yellow's not going out. They bought Big R. Never thought Big R would ever go away. Last I knew, Yellow was still the biggest. They're huge, right? That's a problem. Lucas is late, but here with Wiener in hand. Yeah, because you can't get anybody else to do anything with it anymore. They're down 37%. Wow. We should have shorted them 6 months ago. That would have been really great. We need to see your papers. These are super cool. You must have like some kind of thing you downloaded. Some of these I've seen. Oh, construction. Where'd you get that thing? Oh, yeah. Heavy $sign. I like that. Right. Old Key. Like it. Pirate. Skull Cop. I love it. Those are pretty good. Hot dog. Right. So that's good. Oh, let's see what else. Oh, USA was $331. USX. Roadrunner's delisting. Oh, driver, did you find out about the Denny's Driver 15? I don't know if you have to have the app or not. Some of them were doing that and some of them weren't doing that. What about this then, too? So that Fleet Nav. Oh, okay, thank you for being here, Fleet Nav Systems. Let's see here. Let's get that out there. If you need to ask some questions, head right over to their YouTube page and check out their live show. They might go live tomorrow. If you subscribe, you'll be notified. How about that? It's going to be fun on there. If I'm around, I will go on there too. What about this ibuprofen versus coronavirus? All right, so there's been a lot of this on the news. The BBC had a story about this. Has anybody heard anything about that? And what do you think about that? BBC came out and said, hey, maybe you shouldn't take this. Maybe you should only take whatever they called Tylenol, acetaminophen. Don't take any kind of NSAID, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. I've heard some about that. Is anybody worried about that? I've been thinking about it. I only have Dayquil and NyQuil here, so probably wouldn't affect me. I already have the one they say, but this would be Advil, anything like that. They've been talking about that a lot on the news and some other channels other than the U.S. The FDA is like, oh, we don't know anything about that. But in other countries, they are talking about it. Curious. They didn't think Transcon or CF could go under. That's true, too. That's true. So, it could. But they're really big, and they're not going down as fast as Roadrunner. They're at least plugging some of the holes. Your friend works as a lab tech, and he says fever's the first sign of the virus? Yeah, probably. Loves will serve you your roller wiener. I know, they go get it for you, but at least do you still get to choose it? I mean, I at least want to choose it. I think mega carriers will be fine with the bailout they will get. Well, but some are already having problems. There have been a number that closed this week, and Challenger is laying people off. They're waiting to see what their bailout's going to be there in Canada. So they're waiting to see. Oh, a glowing star, nice. Al Johns is subscribed over there. Good. Maybe we'll see you on the show tomorrow. Give him a call in. No sugar also. Oh, they don't let you get sugar? You bought a coffee maker for your truck? All right, that's one way to do it. I've never been a big coffee drinker. Fleet Nav Systems tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. Live calling. See you later. Take care. Drive safe. Thanks for shipping. All right, we'll see everybody tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern over on their website, on their YouTube channel. Charles, I was going to get into trucking, but decided to get into porn, and that you could pay to get. At least you'd be paid for your time, unlike here. Roadrunner opened at $450, now $283, so it's down even more. Is it just going to fall to nothing today? I'm sure they're happy about that. This is the problem, and so someplace that's sliding that fast, and this is a really tough time to change. You really have to consider now, should I change jobs? Because it's a little bit shaky at the moment, I think. There'll always be trucking jobs, but if you get into a place that doesn't need people or whatever, I think it's a bigger problem than normal. But the question is, do any of you know anybody that has it? No, I don't. But there's only what? They said 120-some thousand people, so no, I don't know anybody. Although we had people here earlier on the show that did get it, but they didn't know where they got it, and I guess most people probably wouldn't. There was a doctor, Cassius King Trucking, on Howard Stern the other day that said the ibuprofen thing is a myth. That's the thing. That's what they're saying in the United States, and I've read that too. There's doctors on that side of it that say no, there's nothing to ibuprofen, you can take it. And then there's doctors on the other side of it that say, it's not worth risking it, that you shouldn't take it because it could be worse, because they also don't recommend it for people that have lung problems. So if you people with asthma and that, it's also not recommended. That's what the article from the BBC was saying, and that what's-his-face in France also said it. So there you go. I heard avoid ibuprofen and Tylenol using naproxen. Oh, that's interesting. I don't have any of that. They did say Tylenol was okay, the acetaminophen okay. Kenneth Schneider can't wait till Schneider and USX go under, for example. Chasing the load to the bottom has to stop. I think that once everybody gets a van, that's going to be, it's up. Everybody's going to go rent a van. It's going to crash. And then those people get out and then it goes back to normal. I think that is how loads go here in the next few months. Tons of loads, no trucks. Then there'll be tons of trucks, much less loads. Then back to normal. The heady trucker, man, you have a scroll? Need to see your papers? Yeah, that's what they're going to be saying. Once that comes up, then I don't know what to say. They're going to give a cashier at the Speedway. It's going to be essential, but then if some other person is not essential, I don't know how that's going to work. Cassius King Trucking has a friend that works at Yellow, and he was saying that they sold off some of their terminals to Estes. So they're headed out the door too. They must not publicize that like other places do. A man technologist. I love it. Where do you get these pack of these? A brain? Let's see. A pig nose. Shrimp. French fries. Love that one. Burrito. That's great. That's one way to get your own burrito. Beer. A ticket. Huh. Oh, a video game controller. What's this box? Kaba. What the heck is that? Barber pole. A kick scooter. Oh, yikes. Skateboard. I used to have a skateboard. New moon face. headphones. Oh, video cassette. I've got some of those still around because I have a VCR. Lock with key, the balance scale, and a coffin, which we're going to need more of those. Remembers the Volvo Super Bowl commercial where the new raised roof cab came with a butler. Your roller wiener, sir. Oh, that. And the butler was Jean-Claude Van Damme in that commercial, so that was nice. George Wilson, Schneider was Teamster until 1980. How did they get rid of the Teamsters out of there? That was before I was driving, so how did they boot the Teamsters out? Jeanette, the NSAID is only a problem to virus sufferers that are having the most severe immune reaction. It's to keep the lungs from expelling mucus. Also happens to pneumonia patients. So what would your recommendation be on that? I mean, if that's the case, would it be better to not use it? That's what they were saying over there, and that was something that I was thinking about. JB Hunt used to be the best company to work for. So did England. Sierra England. Even when I started driving, I mean, I thought, wow, I'm going to go to work in England someday. I'm glad I got rid of that thought. They put YRC and Holland in the same terminal in Rock Island, Illinois. Oh, they're sharing terminals now? Those are both union companies. Well, Bill, we don't need no stinking coffee. There was an article, which I didn't write down here, but there was an article that said the more coffee truck drivers drink, the more accidents they get into, which I thought was pretty interesting. And they said that's because those drivers are more tired, they drink more coffee, they get less sleep, get more tired, and the cycle went over. Van Press, 5 people. One passed away. She was 51. Wow. Do they have any idea how they got it? They probably don't. Sorry, folks, we have to go early. This is GP Transco. Thank you for the show, Mark. See you next week. Be safe. Thank you for being here, GP Transco. I always appreciate you coming in to answer questions and give trucking facts and stuff. And, hey, GP Transco is hiring right now. Maybe you're out of work. Hey, GP Transco needs drivers. Check them out. $1,000 a week guarantee, right? So if you're going to sit somewhere, at least you're going to get some money. You see where people in India died after drinking industrial methanol. They told it was a cure. I saw people in the United States were mad at Trump because they drank pool cleaner. Did you see that? Trump said, look, this malaria drug has some promise. And I don't know the technical name of the drug or anything because, I don't play a doctor in a soap opera. But whatever it is, one of the things in the drug is also in pool cleaner, like the pool in your backyard that you pour in there. But it's not in the same quantity. And people drank pool cleaner. And they're like, well, Trump said to drink pool cleaner. That's not what he said. And by the way, do not drink industrial pool cleaner from your pool supply store. I think we'll see a lot of parked trucks. I know they're already, you go by the truck stop. Oh my gosh, the TA down there at the 130 abandoned. Going by it, I thought, oh my gosh, this is just the beginning. There's no way. Normally, because when coming up 65, you can see all the reserve spots. And once those are full, I know the place is full. They're almost all empty. I thought, holy mackerel, this is not going to be good. George Wilson uses a leave. All right, fancy. Sugar lowers your immune system, smoking papa. It's too late to start short Roadrunner stock. Yeah, how much would you short it to, though? We're going to have to get in fast. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea. The Teamsters were booted out in the early 80s with trucking deregulation. Oh, but how did they get... It's already a Teamster place. Why did the Teamsters stay at, like, Roadway and that and not at Schneider? This fire's killed Joe Diffie. That's true. That's true. How much more real can it get? Cash trucking. Hey, I'm not saying it isn't real. Absolutely not. Faced with medical masks and coffins. Yeah, that's the problem. Right. I'm not saying it isn't real. I'm saying it's that there is another side to it, which is closing the economy also eventually kills people and ruins their lives. Because I personally know several people that are probably not going to be able to catch up their rent. Because even though there's a rent is being put off, in the few months, once that's done, you have to catch back up. Right? I know a guy with a $1,700 house payment. He's not working. And so, say he goes 3 months, he owes $5,400 at the end of that 3 months. He's never going to catch that up. That's a problem. A chiropractor once cracked your back, while another doesn't believe in that. That's true. Some people, chiropractors, they say no, and then yes. All I'm saying is putting it out there. What do people think about this ibuprofen versus Tylenol that I've been reading about? Sorry to hear Vamp not saying it's out here. I'm just saying I haven't heard anyone I know. Yeah, many people don't know someone. I think it's out there too. Eventually, though, there's only so much you can do because they're talking about like 2 billion people in the world eventually get it. Eventually, we can only do so much. You can't close the economy for 18 months while they get a vaccine. You can't do that. So is it better to ruin the economy or keep the economy rolling and some people die? It's an interesting question that you have to make an economy that has a limitation on services. So I heard the opposite. I heard use Tylenol and avoid ibuprofen. Right, use Tylenol. Cash is king. That's exactly what I'm saying. Use Tylenol and avoid ibuprofen. That's what I've heard too. Macy's announcing 125,000 layoffs. I'm sure they're closed. There's a Macy's here downtown, closer to downtown, closed. Right, it's closed. So those people are being laid off. Boredom should be illegal. Well, there's always something to do. You can go. Food Finders Food Bank here needs volunteers. The Humane Society and stuff always needs volunteers. Even if you're laid off, there's always something for you to do. There's somebody you can help. Al Johns wanted to work at MS Carriers back in the day. You know, every once in a while, you'll still see a trailer where that's been sprayed off of there, but you can still see where it used to say MS Carriers. I'm like, wow, they sold in like 1999 or something. They sold that place. Just hit the thumbs up. Why is there no count? I don't know. I don't know about that. I appreciate it, though. I lost my previous job because Yellow bought us out and sent 4,000 employees home. I guess what goes around comes around. That's true, too. Whenever a place gets bought out, you can lose your job. Sometimes they'll let you apply. They're like, oh, well, these drivers can apply to work here. The drivers that are already driving there. They told their drivers to vote them out, and they had something better to offer, and they said, trust us. Well, that's your indication right there. You shouldn't do it. That would have been no right there, right? Biohazard. Oh, nice. Face with mask. These are good. What freight does GP Transco haul? All right, they have left here. So GP Transco hauls dry vans around the country. So I assume, and I don't work there, so I'm just assuming they haul most things that go in a dry van. So we may have some drivers here from there. GP does dry vans. GP Transco, general freight with some dedicated customers. Okay, there you go. And they're still hiring, so they still have work to do, apparently, for people. Alexander just test drove the Volvo. Runs good for a truck stuck at 65 top speed. Nothing we can do about that. That was a fast DEF fix. That must not have been. I assumed you needed like a new DEF canister or whatever. That must not have been that. JB was never a company to work for, and England wasn't either. Very bad. No, I'm talking like 80s. Late 80s, 90s, you saw England. You talk to these drivers, they're going coast to coast, great pay, right? It was a much better company than it is. Shante Halsey, I hope I got that right. Hello. Hunsley, please wash your hands before posting a comment. We like to keep the chat room safe. Yes, for 20 seconds. And they're actually saying soap is as good as sanitizer. So, but I think they're saying that because people can't get sanitizer too. I think there's some of that. Cash is king. I was house shopping before this started, getting multiple calls a day from panicked realtors. Look, we are planning on moving here in the next year or so to probably Jasper, Huntingburg area down there near Jasper. And that's still on. As far as I know, we will still be going down there. So I wrote the realtor and said, hey, because they're building new homes down there. We're planning on building a ranch down there. So not like a ranch like Dallas, but just a ranch home. And as far as I know, I'm still in. I'm still DEFCON 5 here. We're still 100. Schneider and Schneider National, pretty sure that's how they did it. Oh, kind of like Prime Inc., which is their official name, right? And New Prime, which is actually a company name that they're filed with. Kenneth, thanks for the opportunity to express yourself. Yeah, look, say what you want. I'm a robot, can't get sick. And that's the other part of this. These companies now will be able to go to the government. Think about this. All these autonomous trucking companies. Oh, well, we need more money because, look, if truck stops, look what happens. Our trucks won't have to stop. The truck can't get a virus, and it won't care if it goes to New York City. The rates won't even go up. We'll just take it for regular rate. See, that's how that works, too. So there's always that on the backside of it. Nevada Maverick. That $1,000 check won't go far. American people are getting hosed. It would keep the economy rolling. That's true. It'll be something. It'll be something. Look, it's going to be a big screen, and, maybe you can go rent some rims for your car. They have Rent-A-Rim in Chicago. Well, Bill knows about that. He's got some rims rented on his car. So, but you can rent rims for your car. Maybe go get some. I was thinking of putting 28s on Escape, getting a nice rental rims on it. This is a group more than 10 people. Watch out. That's true. We have more than 10, so everybody needs to be 6 feet apart. Tunnel spread that rumor, still trying to recover from the cyanide scare. Wow, who remembers that? That's why all your pills at the store are sealed for your protection. And that's some guy, I don't remember his name, in the Chicago area, it seems like, took Tylenol pills. They used to pull apart. There were 2 pieces, and he put cyanide in the pills and killed, 7 people or 10 people till they figured out what was going on. And that changed the whole industry. Cash is King, the thumbs up counter for the live show is broken because everyone is hitting it so hard. Well, that's super awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah. Things with aspirin are blood thinners. People get bleeding in the lungs. That would be an NSAID, right, Christina? So that's interesting. Maybe that's why they're saying because it's a respiratory problem. Interesting. As long as there's freight, we'll haul it in through rain, sleet, snow, or virus. Well, apparently not everybody is willing to go into New York City, and the rates are going up. Your Max AC is blowing warm. Time to get it fixed. I always finish the day. This has been my policy. I'll finish out that day of driving, but then I expect them to find somewhere to get the truck fixed. What about Ozark Motor Lines? Anybody here from Ozark Motor Lines? Is XPO Logistics union? No, they are not. You don't need no air conditioning. We always need air conditioning. I don't like driving in the truck with the windows open really at hardly any temperature. It's too loud in there, just too loud and I don't like the droney sound. That's exactly what happened when FedEx bought Watkins out. Never a better company for drivers. Al John says use antibacterial soap. That was gone from the store too. Dishwashing detergent and soaps, all that antibacterial stuff gone. Basically only lava soap left, which is like washing your hands with rocks. Alexander got some valves changed and the filter inspected. Oh, that's interesting that it threw that code for that. At least it's back on the road fast. Getting back to making money. Reason I'm here is because I'm doing my 10-hour reset. Well, look, I'll take it. Schneider started the national side in the 80s, and the union transport side didn't hire new drivers. By the 90s, the transport side was down to a few hundred trucks, so they just don't hire anybody. To basically, eventually, there's nobody left. I wish my truck could do 70. Yes, I wish they all did. The speed limit. I'm going to take my $1,200 to buy a majority stake in Roadrunner. You can buy it looks like in another hour or two, you're going to be able to buy about the whole company. Roadrunner for $1,200. Pay your mortgage with the money. Banks will not be your friend if you get 4 months late. That's true, because many banks are being forced to say, all right, we won't foreclose and all that for so many months, but your payments are still due, everybody. So if you're thinking of moving your payments, same with rent, you can't be evicted like here in Indiana for 3 months because the apartment complex sent us a letter. Hey, we're working with everybody or whatever if you don't have any money. That's fine. But at the end of that time, you still owe all of the rent. You owe all of your mortgage. You owe all of it. So try not to get behind in it. Let's not talk about autonomous trucks. I hope it doesn't happen in my lifetime. I'm young, though, so darn. Yeah, well, I'm just saying that if I was in an autonomous truck company, True Simple or whatever, I'd be all about going to the government and saying, look, we are your solution to this. And to go to shippers and say, hey, when you ship with us, you don't have to worry about the driver getting sick. The driver doesn't want to take the load. I mean, this is an opportunity for them, right? I mean, that's what you do when you're at the company. You ship on us, our truck goes, and we don't raise your rate because the truck still goes. It doesn't mean that we're not going to have any problem making the driver go because there's no driver. So I think this is where they come in and start to shine to shippers and to the government. It's easy to convince the people in the government and stuff. They're 900 years old. Tell them, all they got to tell them, look, the truck drives by magic. It's magic. And they're like, oh, magic? You need a bill. Right. So that's how it works. Computers get viruses pretty easily, and they're easily hacked. I can hack a computer from my tablet. Alexander, they did that with Jeep, right? They showed that on a YouTube video. They hacked into it, made it stop. It was a Wrangler or something? Yeah, so, right. But you can't tell that to Congress. Did I mention wash your hands? I don't know why people have to say it anymore, though. What were people doing before there was all this? The heady trucker bring back the manual trans? That would be nice. They're going the way of yesterday, though, because hardly anybody has one in their car, right? I think we should stop calling it the coronavirus and call it the Joe Diffie Memorial Health Hazard. Cassius King, it's unfortunate that it's going to almost be named after him. I mean, that's the thing. Maybe they should call it that so that people would maybe look more into it. George Wilson, you're out of here. I'll try to stay healthy. Do the same. See you next week. Same bat time and same bat channel. Exactly. Pow. See you later. Why no? I hit the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Lava soap. They still sell that? Sure. They still sell lava. That's almost all that was left over there. Who would you work for? A FedEx contractor or Covenant? Probably a FedEx contractor, but only if I'm an employee. I don't work for anybody that I'm not an employee, and many FedEx contractors hire people as 1099, and I don't like it, no matter who does it, because you're being misclassified. And so I don't like it, and I'm not working for somebody for basically the same pay. I rarely see higher pay without any benefits. So for me, no. Usually I see the FedEx contractors paying more, though. You really don't need antibacterial soap. If you wash your hands for 20 seconds with regular soap, the lipids in the soap will kill the virus. Oh, lipids. Oh, nice. Costco has cough shields between you and the cashier. I saw someplace we're putting them up. Meijer, the cashier, still no mask or anything, no gloves, right? We're all still, because it's Meijer. I mean, it's not Walmart, so we figure everybody in there is probably okay. Mark, did you file your tax and put direct deposit with the IRS? No, I don't file until April. I worked for Ozark running intermodal and regional. The pay was no good. They expected me to run like an old-timey trucker. Do work off the clock. That's everywhere. For no pay. I was like, bye-bye. Exactly. A lot of companies want you to work for free. It is the bane of my existence. Hey, Wes here from Western Express. How's it going at Western Express? Are you still rolling? How's Western Express doing? Are they still giving you some miles? JJ Godfrey is here but late. Well, I still appreciate you coming. There will be demerits. You have to give everyone here hand sanitizer. Do the trucks have to park 6 feet from each other? Maybe we see less hood damage. Well, that'd be a benefit, wouldn't it? Shantae, I've been in many women's restrooms at truck stops where women, some working in the food area, refuse to wash their hands. A few had told the manager before the corona business. Oh, okay. That's probably pretty common. I haven't been in as many women's bathrooms because they make me leave. A little late, but not your warehouse, so I'm good. All right. I know that they try, especially during all of this. I just wish they weren't so hell-bent on getting rid of the American truck driver. My whole family is truckers, killing a tradition. It is, but you know, what I always say about this, and people always get mad at me, people don't pick crops anymore. And I'm sure back 80, 90 years ago, 100 years ago, did people say the same thing? You're getting rid of all the crop picking people. But this John Deere does such a good job. Eventually, everything moves forward. Like there's not people building rotary phones right now when they used to. There's no operators. How about that? I'm sure there's hardly any operators because who dials 0 to get a number? Hey, can you get me the number to Radio Shack? That doesn't happen anymore. So eventually it moves on. I mean, we can't say because something's a tradition, I think, that we keep the job. If the job isn't necessary anymore, do we keep it? Now, it's going to be a long time before they really actually take over any kind of road jobs, but that day will come. That day's coming. Tell people who want to know about Advil, aspirin, and Aleve. When they search YouTube for these things, check out the starting. I hope it helps. Yeah, I'm just wondering. All I'm saying is I'm putting it out there as something to think about. I'm wondering about it. I saw articles about it on both sides. Want to see what people think about it. George Wilson, thank you for that. Good show. Appreciate it. Smoke and Papa, be safe. Again, I'm Sub, so hopefully I'll see you next time. Yeah, thank you very much for that. And it's live every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. I love that. It's the bane of my existence. It is. I mean, they're horrible. Let's just be with it. I always wash my hands in the women's bathroom. They have better soaps. I like to sit in the couch there and smell the potpourri, which is what I assume is in there. You just mentioned antibacterial. You know, antibacterial won't work on a virus. They're two different animals. I know people always put that out there as antibacterial, but it's all gone from the store. I will say it's gone. It's totally gone from the store. Kenneth Snyder, no problems there. I've been thinking about what I'm going to do when an autonomous truck takes over. I've got narrowed down to pickpocketing and wino. Well, you know what? You can do both of those at the same time. There's no reason between those two that you have to choose at all, because one kind of helps the other one. Really. So I think those two jobs really work together to, they'll help each other. Besides this show, There's Jay, remember, at which I always forget, but he's on at 8 p.m. Central Time tomorrow night. Jay with his Auto Transport Intel extravaganza, where he's looking at the auto part of the industry, and I'd really like to know how that's going since they're all closed. So Subaru just extended for another week here. That was all over the news. They're going to pay everybody that works there. So I cannot imagine what's going on over at Auto Transport Intel. I hope that you check his show out, because that must be really something. That's where Challenger is getting into problems, they said. You should stay 6 feet, though, when you're pickpocketing. So you're going to need one of those things with the alligator head on the end of it, that where you get reach tall things up there. Absolutely. Want your deep thoughts on toilet paper? Well, yeah. Well, this is a one deep thought on it, right? 1,000 feet of it. But I have plenty here, but I always thought everybody should have 30 days of supplies at their house. Why don't people have 30 days of stuff at their house? Why is everybody running around picking everything at the store off the shelves? What do people do? You should be able to, I think, you should be able to go in your house at any time and close the door and not come out for 30 days and not have suffered because you didn't have something at your house. Always have a month's worth of supplies. You never know when you'll have to stay in your house. And now here we are, where everybody has to stay in their house, and they're going all over the place, and toilet paper is going for $100 on the internet, which is crazy. Who thought toilet paper would be more than cigarettes? You can trade people a Virginia Slim for like 3 squares. Oh, square for a square, right? How about that? That's what we used to call toilet paper in the day. All right, that's what they used to say anyways. What's my Roadrunner update, by the way? It was $3.99 at 11:30. Roadrunner stock is certainly down. Has anybody parked in the Sapp Brothers free parking too? I think I would do that, because just to feel like I'm getting over on them or something, I would be like, oh, I'm going to park in your free parking spots now. Sapp Brothers has said that they're going to end paid parking for now, because they appreciate drivers so much helping out the economy, that for now they're not going to have paid parking. When autonomous trucks come around, I'll just be a lineman or something like that. I love the trades. Yeah, there's always something else to do. As a field gets taken over, operators go away. People that pick crops go away. All these things. Look, car makers, Subaru. I've taken a tour down there to plant, which everybody should do. I think it's fascinating. There's tons of robots in there. I can't imagine how many people are being replaced by all the robots working in there. What about all that? Nobody thinks anything about that when they go buy food. Like, oh, I can't believe that, there's nobody picking this food. Nobody thinks about that anymore. So I think that eventually, when drivers are replaced, it'll just go on just like everything else does. And the local drivers will be the last ones, because the first ones to go are the long distance part of a load. So the Tampa to Houston part. So outside of Tampa, there'll be a parking area. The autonomous truck hooks up, and somewhere outside of Houston is the other area. The truck is disconnected, and then a local driver at both ends deliver it, because that's the hardest part of it to do. The interstate part is the easiest part to do. That's why Cadillac Super Cruise works out so good. It only works on the interstate that they've pre-mapped Super Cruise on their cars. And this will be the same thing for a truck. It'll be pre-mapped interstates are first. And then local drivers will take it on both ends, and eventually it'll be able to go dock to dock. But that's a long time away. End of the century. I think it's April 30th that the quarantine has been extended to. Well, he didn't extend a quarantine. What he said is people should continue social distancing, which I never like. It should be physical distancing. But the president said you should continue social distancing until then. And look, let's be honest. We should do that all the time. Why do people have to crowd around you, especially the line at the grocery store or whatever, all their little germ factory kids and everything? Back off a little bit, okay? Just give people a little bit of space anyway, and we'd be better off. There'd be less people get the flu, less people would get colds, tuberculosis, leprosy, all these things that people get all the time. They wouldn't be getting these kind of things at all, like they do pleurisy, all that stuff. Roadrunner is still 286. Oh, okay. So now we can. It's kind of hit its bottom today. So now we can go ahead and short that stock. Cat Live Research. That's not like a prospectus or anything. Blue Parrot, you're wearing yours in the living room. Wow. I normally repeat listen a couple times a week. I appreciate that. And remember, if you wear it, make it a parrot, of course. Wearing it in the living room. Well, once you become a driver with a CDL, you're required to wear a headset all the time, no matter where you are. That way people know exactly what you do for a living. So, because drivers, I see them wear it everywhere. Love the blue-collar workers. They just put a video out about blue-collar jobs. Look, without blue-collar workers, they're now the essential people in their workforce, aren't they? That's the people going to work. Who's the non-essential people? All the people higher than them, right? They're not essential. Because if you don't keep everything running, look, Glenn Campbell said that, right? When you're the lineman for the county, that's the essential worker. We will have a serious problem soon. Day laborers can't pick produce on the farms because of the virus. Oh, that's interesting. Are they not allowing that? Why couldn't you stay spaced out picking, whatever it is they pick at the farms? There's no reason they couldn't be spaced out and still do this job, honestly. Just visited the channel, Alexander. Didn't see any videos. Would love to check it out. There are videos there. Okay, I've seen them. Install an aftermarket bidet in your home. I've asked the wife for that, and she's like, no. And I'm like, that's super classy. So I'm working on getting that in the house that we build, getting at least one bidet put in there. Back in the day, if you found out your neighbor had measles or chickenpox, your parents would send you there to catch it. Yes. Now, my parents didn't do that, but I remember those as a kid. Even though I'm only in my extreme upper 30s, they had measles and chickenpox parties where people would send their kids over to get chickenpox. I had chickenpox as a kid at maybe 6 years old or something, and I remember having to be in a dark room for like 2 days because the doctor said, oh, the light will, he'll go blind or whatever if you let him out of a dark room, and I had to be in the room where it was dark all the time for a couple days because of chickenpox. But I don't know how I got it, probably at school. But I remember parents used to send their kids to go get it. I don't think that's a recommendation for this or really any disease. It's kind of seems somewhat child abuse just to send, hey, go on down there and go get a horrible disease that you might die from. So I don't think that's a great idea, but they did do it. Aviator trucker, every time I walk around with a blue parrot headset, people look at me and say, what time is your flight leaving? Oh, nice. Used to be people thought you were a doctor. You'd get that little headset. This was when they first came out, and people thought, oh, that guy's really important right there. Not so much anymore. They whenever they walk up to me, they go, we would like an Impossible Whopper. I go, no, I'm not. You can't take an order here. Yes, but if the people are picking the vegetables have been exposed to the virus, they will pass it on to the people that buy the produce. That's true. But what they're saying, you don't know necessarily when people are exposed because for some point of time, they aren't sick. So what about that? I mean, that's the other thing of it. You can go to the store. That's why it's closing stores and leaving some open is kind of not great. Because at Meijer, even though I'm there on Sunday morning when they first open, there's still people in there and you can't stay 6 feet away from people in the aisles. You're going down an aisle, somebody's coming the other way down the aisle. You don't know who in there might have it. Somebody that works there might have it. It's just impossible to be 100%. You got to have, if you're going to have some kind of freedom, you're going to have a little bit of a risk with it as well. And that's the risk of having freedom. Otherwise, to be 100% safe, we have to close everything. Nobody leaves their house. Anybody that leaves their house is arrested. That's the only way to do it. Otherwise, let's just get everything going. Seinfeld is one of those close talkers. Oh, I remember that one too. The close talker, right? Oh, he's a close talker. It would be right up here to people. That was a good one. Chris Keller, hey, what's going on? Doing great. It's another Monday. Live through another week. Any day you wake up is a great day. We're going to say R.I.P. to Joe Diffie today. And that was pretty sad. 61. He died here just recently. That's terrible. Anytime anybody dies, Joe Diffie died. Not great. Not great. Because the workers on the farms are mainly migrant workers, so they aren't allowed anymore. Going to be tough. It should be considered essential, though. So are they really not going to be able to pick? Because in this article that was talking about rates, it actually talked that in the next few weeks that agriculture of California would pick up as crops come in. So it actually talked about that and didn't mention like the crops wouldn't be able to be picked or anything like that. So, and here again, these are the only people still picking are crops that they couldn't automate. Other crops are being automated and some aren't. Now the channel is a translating vlogs. Go over there and check it out, everybody. M-Hop or leprosy. Yeah, you're walking around and then I've seen this in the store. So I'm standing there and the person in front of me, their arm falls off. I'm like, oh crap. I got in the leprosy aisle, so I get out. I got to go down to another aisle or whatever. I'm like, yikes. So it's terrible. It's on this account. There we go. Right. Sure thing. Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers died too. 81 years old, I think. Something like that. That was bad too. Kenny Rogers died. Dolly came out. And Kenny Rogers also great singer as well. Getting one of the first albums I bought. This is an aside that probably nobody cares about. I'm going to say it anyway. When I first got a stereo with a record player, an LP player on it, right? I was probably 13, and I had that in my room, and I bought The Gambler. I saved my allowance money and went and bought The Gambler. So I remember playing that. I would play it at night. I'd have one speaker sitting by my bed, and so I remember playing The Gambler on LP. Yep, 33 and a third. Our local grocery stores put blue tape on the floor, the X's on the checkout lines in Seattle. They did that here in Meyer. There are X's here in the line, and there are X's at the deli. And I'm like, why didn't they have these all the time? I don't like people creeping up on me anyhow. It's always somebody with 47 kids, and they're all like, oh, I want to play with this, I want to play, and they're always in front of their card and mess. I don't like it. I never liked it. Okay, stay back with your own card. So, and people are honoring the lines. But then you're right next to the cashier, too. So I don't know what they're doing about that. They do wipe the thing off where you put your card. They're still taking cash, although not every place is. I don't know. You can't eliminate all risk out of your life. You can't. And I'll say this. People say, what if you get sick? Look, I don't want the world to close down so that I don't get sick. I don't want that. I don't want to. People's lives are being ruined for that. And I don't want that for people so that I don't get sick. I don't. It's the needs of the many. I'm here in Bakersfield, California, still working, hauling sand for a pool builder. Pool building is essential, Chris. In California, that's probably considered essential. Look, it's a crazy thing. Liquor stores are essential here. Liquor stores are essential, but you can't buy a book like in Howard County. Liquor stores are open, but you can't buy a book for your kid who's home with you now because school's out for the rest of the semester. So you can't buy anything for them because it's not essential, but you can buy booze. I guess if your kid doesn't have a book, you need more booze because the kid's annoying you all day. I don't know. It's very susceptible to temps above 133 and chemical interventions. Big guy. All right. How do we get ourselves over 133? That's the problem. Jerry Rice doesn't have to worry about catching the coronavirus. He can't catch anything anymore. Nice. How are the oil field drivers doing right now? Probably terrible. Is there anybody in the oil field? Gas is cheap. Oil's what? $20 or something, really low. That's the thing. Oil up and down. So, but in a few months, it might pick back up. But for right now, nobody's buying it. See, nobody's buying it. And so the Speedway, like my niece works at a Speedway, they've laid a couple of people off because nobody's coming in. And so they don't need as many people. So that's a problem. Nobody's buying stuff anymore. We need to get people buying things. The virus is extremely fragile once in the incubation stage. Oh, so catch them in their incubators. Got it? In that room. If you go into a room and you see a bunch of viruses, go get that room heated up. That's not a medical thing. Every day you don't learn something new. China reported people who were taking mega doses of vitamin C were more resistant. That's always the thought. I will say this. I did look at this at Meyer. There's no vitamin C. And there is little orange juice. I get one every week, and then I get one, and there's like none left, and people are looking at me, and I'm like, I get one of these every week. I don't want to hear about it. Florida orange juice, 100% Florida orange juice. California reefer produce haulers are non-exempt. Friends told me they have lots of work. That's true. The food is exempt, but are people coming to pick the crops? That's interesting. He knew when to fold them. Well, did he? Pet stores are essential in Washington. Pot stores. Pet stores are essential here. Got to have pools for the rich. They got to stay cool while they're home not working. Everclear is good against the virus. 95% alcohol, but don't drink and drive. That's true, right? Sit in the sauna if available or use the neti pot. That's how. All right. Who's got a neti pot out there? Anybody? Who can get to a sauna? That's the gym's closed. Okay, how about that? Planet Fitness across the street closed. Okay, so the sauna and that, you can't get in there. So I don't know where you would get a sauna at the moment. If anybody has an idea for a sauna, that's interesting. Speedway closed the cafe counter for you. Okay, so you can't see. So there's less people coming in buying things, and then they need less people to come to work there. Is anybody keeping an eye on Travis Tritt? Oh my gosh, is he next? That would be great. I haven't heard anything from the news or anything about Travis, believe me. Minimalist trucker, it is ironic. The people that are most worried about freedoms being lost too, I saw this as a meme, right, are the ones who were most prepared. So people like me, I have plenty of stuff in my house. I'm like, what the heck? And people that were like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to give up my freedom. Just please give me toilet paper. I mean, that's a problem. Diesel fuel in some places is a rack price of 99 cents, yet the truck stops are selling them for $2.40. Talk about profit margin. Okay. I don't mind places making a profit. But they always say that the price, and I'll have to ask her about that, the difference, they only make a few cents a gallon on stuff. So if they made $1.30 a gallon, I don't know. Problem with oil fields is when they're good, they're really good, and when they're bad, they're really bad. Right. So you're in there rocking and rolling. 2 days later, you're laid off. But between that, you're making $2,000 a week. That's the problem with anything. Anytime you worry about a boss, a job, an employer as your paycheck, then you never have a steady income. Because until you make your own check, you won't ever have stability. This is proof to a lot of people that, holy mackerel, I'm laid off. I don't have a job now. What am I going to do? Right. That they thought that their job was security, and it isn't. The job is never security. Person who trades liberty for security deserves neither. That is very correct. Yes, people are so quickly giving up their liberties, and they're going to find out, oh, what do you know? This is not great. But by then, it's too late. You can give up your rights voluntarily, but to get them back, you need a gun. That's the problem. Oil fields are constantly up and down, right? That's exactly right. How much of that price is taxes? Yes, a lot of it. I don't know what the tax is on diesel. Some owner-operator probably knows. Another great show, you're an illusionist. I'm an illusion, certainly. Going to travel with my wife. She's not working. I'm going to take her to Pound Town. Yikes. Remember me at trucking school right now? I want to join right now. Recommend, I don't know where you live or whatever, but I don't even know trucking schools are taking people right now. But to get into trucking school, the best way to get into trucking school, what I always say, is have the state pay for it. And I think right now, of all times, the states are more likely than ever to pay for truck school. So you got to go to your state's unemployment and say, look, I want to be retrained as a driver. A lot of states will pay for the truck school. In totality, you don't have to pay anything. You won't have a contract. But you need to find out first if a truck school is even open. Some of them are not open. Some companies are not taking trainees on anymore because a lot of the trainers are like, I can't have a trainee in my truck because, I might get sick or whatever, even though I've seen some of these trainers and it should be the other way around, but they're still not having a problem. I'm watching people become more concerned about our liberties being taken away, thinking to myself, good, there'll be more libertarians in the future. There's never enough, but hopefully there will be some. But the problem is once you give your rights away and liberties, you don't just get them back. You have to go force them back. And so this is going to change the way the whole country works and not in a great way. People think, oh, it's great. Everybody should be locked in their house. I don't think so. I don't think that's how we run this country. Where we just say everybody has to stay in their house. Who are they to say everybody has to stay in their house? That's the problem. Who's the government to come up and say, you have to stay in your house? Why? I'm not sick. I haven't done anything. Well, and you're essential. You're not. It's not up to them to decide that. And the companies know this is coming or they wouldn't give you a little letter that says, hey, why don't you, here's a little letter to give to the government right now. Bridget knows the deal. That's for sure. Bridget knows that those freedoms don't come easily like that. So Roadrunner down into the twos. Let's see, USA 331 as of earlier. USX is up though. Isn't that curious? And they have a lot of dry vans, and part of it is, I think that companies force people more than others to go to places. Is anybody being forced to New York City? That's a good question. As I've heard, there's tons of drivers that don't want to go. Is anybody saying, I don't want to go, and they're saying you're going to New York City? So your CDL physical also is extended to June 30th for people who are asking me. But who is being forced to go to New York City? Your hazmat, by the way, that's going to be extended. I just saw an article about that. They're going to extend the expiration date of hazmats for up to 6 months. Nothing official yet. That should come out this week, though. Guns and ammo are skyrocketing in the Northeast. Yeah, all over the country. Guns and ammo sales crazy. Gun stores in Indiana exempted as an exempt place that are essential to be open. So, and that's true. Heard about military roadblocks in Florida. It wasn't a military block. It's the cops. In Florida, they're making everybody go in the way station. But the people they're making going in are in cars. And they're letting the trucks bypass it. And the same thing with Rhode Island. They were making New York plates come in and telling people they had to quarantine because people are trying to escape from New York. Ernest Borgnine could only take so many people at a time. Chris Keller, we're so slow right now, we're only running 1 out of 2 crews and 2 to 3 out of 6 trucks. They just bought 2 brand new day cabs and a brand new trailer mounted air compressor. That's a problem. You never know, right? That is a problem. No, New York City is optional at Smith plus extra pay. I go around $287 usually. Okay. But I would want even extra pay now. They should actually bump that bonus to go to New York City. That would be really nice. Just got a reload for Wednesday going to near Syracuse, New York. That's not bad. That's not anywhere near New York City. The Princess of Dixie Hill is here. McCarthy, Northeast region laid off 400 and Michelin has slowed production. Yeah, exactly. Tire places are slow. Nobody's buying trucks. They're all stopped too. Freightliners stopped. Mack, Volvo, they all stopped making trucks. Rack price is the price pulled from the pipeline, which includes taxes. So you're saying that they're getting a $1.40 split on. They always say it's like 4 cents or 8 cents, on fuel. That there's not that kind of money. LTI doesn't even bother to ask me to go to the tri-state area because they already know the answer. I'm glad they don't force it. I'm glad they're a place that doesn't force it at any time, much less now. I wouldn't want to go even in good. Now might be a better time because there's less traffic, but then you might die. But then otherwise, there's more traffic, but you live. I don't know. Trucking journeys. I got a load out of North Carolina going to Maine. Got a truck wash, and I'm feeling good. Good. Do not stop in the New York City area anywhere. Boy, what kind of load are you going to get out of Maine? I could never get anything up there. You can come down to Vermont. I picked up Ben & Jerry's before in Vermont, but there's not a lot to get out of Maine. Wood, maybe. That's $380,000 in equipment last month, and then this happens. Hope you still have a job. Well, they can probably get the payments deferred, but they're still going to have to pay for it. And you may not. There are tons of people that are already in the news and stuff that don't have a job, that are laid off. And they said there's going to be tons more truckers laid off because of the freight could fall 24% in the second quarter. And that will let a lot of drivers either go or they'll have to quit because you'll be getting 1,200 miles. Where you used to get 2,500 miles. Everybody's miles will be lowered. And that's, I think, what companies will do to keep their trucks paid off. And so that's, if you can live it out, that's okay. Otherwise, you may have to go somewhere else. I saw a picture of military police stopping people in Rhode Island. That's true. They were the police, not the military police. The best way to get into truck driving school is through the front door. That's great. Has anybody checked in on Clint Black? Haven't seen him lately? His wife is that singer too, right? Anyone out or near Idaho? How does the trucking industry look out that way, headed up that way? Probably always potatoes, but too early. For us to go, you need to go to New York City. You need a better job. That's true. I'm saying even at good times, nobody wants to go. In the good times, nobody wants to go in the bad times. In Maine, we have a dedicated paper customer called Nine Dragons Paper. What? Oh my gosh. Do not tell me they make the little tiny fortune cookie papers. That's exactly what that company sounds like. So you have to pick up one, the bills say 2 billion pieces of paper or whatever. Trucker Hershey has the 1,000 a week guaranteed. That's correct. And that might come in handy in the next few weeks. And that's why I would say people say, well, that's no money. Well, it is if you're only getting 1,000 miles. Then at least, okay, I'm at least going to make $1,000 a week it slows down a little bit. So this is exactly why you get a guarantee. You've been running 3,200 miles a week for 6 weeks. Yeah, I think that's good. While the money's there, go get it. Get the money because I think you're going to drop off and then come back. A lot of people will. Thinking about going to Clean Harbors. From what I hear, it's a good company. They have a terminal in Hammond, Indiana, which I'm from, but nobody else cares about. You can get a bonus if you take New York City. You could choose between Corona or Heineken. I'll take the second one. Has anyone checked on Ray Price or Charlie Rich? They're both dead, but they were smooth when they were alive. Yeah, Charlie Rich. I'm thinking these people are dead, aren't they? This Charlie Rich is not alive. So that's somebody we probably would not have to check in on. But what they were saying, though, for people that don't know, Joe Diffie died here recently. 61 years old. He died of coronavirus, and I think that's terrible. So it's real. I'm not saying people say, Mark, you don't believe it. I believe it. Okay, I believe it's real, but I don't believe that the whole country, shutting the whole country down is a solution, because even if you let people back out, say pick a date, like Trump said, end of April, so May 1st, everything's back to normal. There's no vaccine. So there's still people that are sick that will get everybody else sick because there's no vaccine. The only way to be is to lock everybody in their house. Nobody leaves until everybody's vaccinated. And that could be a year. That's just not practical to do in the country. You can't pay people $600 a week for a year, 150 million people. You just can't do that. Do you think reefer drivers are going to be safe in the recession we're about to have? Yeah, I think if anybody, they'll probably come out the best, because food still has to go. All these crops have to come in. They're going to figure out a way to get the crops in. They're not going to leave a bunch of, whatever crops are out there to not come in. Absolutely. People still got to eat. Even though produce is the only thing in the store that didn't get taken on the great toilet paper scavenger hunt here that we've had the last couple weeks. I saw the picture. It was a National Guard Hummer and military uniform. I'd like to see that, because they showed the state police, because Rhode Island has those weird uniforms. John Nickerson Jr., good afternoon. Yeah, Joe died at 61, right? Joe Diffie died 61 years old. Kenny Rogers also died in the last few weeks, but Joe Diffie, 61, and he had coronavirus. He wanted to make it known out there for people to wash their hands and stuff, but you can only do so much, because you never know who else has it. So as long as you interact with anybody, you risk it. I guess if you never left your house, and that would be the only way to do it. You couldn't leave until you get a vaccine, and you just stick your arm out the door or whatever when they come by with the vaccine truck and they give you a vaccine. Until then, it's a risk, but life always has risks. And yeah, I would say that even if I get sick, I would say I don't want the whole country to close and everybody's house to be, foreclosed on and stuff, so that I don't get sick. I don't think that's right to do. And I don't think it's a logical thing to do. It's the needs of the many. Any news on the bill that allows truckers to carry across state lines? How does that work with your home being your truck? Well, you're supposed to have an address, because you have to have an address on your CDL. So there's that. But no, I haven't heard even that there's a bill. There was talk that they wanted to introduce a bill. But as of this, right now, they're not coming back till April 20th, from what I understand. They're out for a few weeks, so there won't be anything happening until at least then. Christina said there's still no toilet paper at Sam's Club in Clarksville, Indiana. Last Thursday was 2 weeks at Meijer, and then as of Sunday, there was still none at Meijer. So it's been 2.5 weeks for the Meijer here in Lafayette to have toilet paper. And I was there probably 8:15 in the morning, and they open at 8. And I went down there to check. Nobody bought that whole roll of toilet paper out. There weren't that many people in the store. So they didn't get any, because I thought, they're restocking it. They don't have any. Aviator Trucker, we delivered to Dottie's Truck Stop, Missouri, which has an auxiliary 1,000,000-gallon tank. We put 110 loads of diesel at 7,600 gallons per load. Wow. Clean Harbors pays good, but it's a hard, dirty job. Yikes. Nice to see you're doing okay. Yeah, thanks. Always doing great here. Trying to do my best, living my best life as I can. Joe's a role model. I love Joe Diffie songs. Even though I'm not a huge country fan, I thought his songs very good. They're still popular, played on the radio. I thought, I can't believe Joe Diffie died. I didn't even hear that he was sick, but he did in fact die, and it's sad. Wish Florida Georgia Line would take his place, because they're young and will survive. Well, you never know if you're going to survive day to day, right? That's why I always tell people on here, hey, no matter what you want to do today, go do it. What are you waiting for? What's your purpose? What are you meant to do? Right? What are you meant to do? Go do it. And now, look, people are looking around. What a better time than right now to go live your purpose, right? Now go depend on yourself, live your purpose. Go buy some toilet paper, right? Figure out what your purpose is and do it, because you never know. Charles R. subscribed. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Just emailed the picture we're telling you about with the Rhode Island Military Police. All right. Is this the Rhode Island National Guard? I mean, just saying that doesn't sound scary. I mean, if you were a country and they were saying, we're going to send the Rhode Island National Guard, and I'm sure there are a bunch of great people in the National Guard there. I'm not saying that. It just doesn't sound that scary. It doesn't sound like it's that threatening. Had to reword that to not feel like a complete monster. Yes. They're young and will survive. Yeah, look, I get what you're saying, right? But you just, look, I'm just saying that you just don't know each day. Day to day, you don't know. Whatever life you're supposed to live, go live it. And don't worry about what other people think about it. Don't worry about any of that stuff. Go live it. It isn't money. Go live your life, and you'll get the money that you need. If you help enough other people get what they want, you'll have anything that you want. How about that? How about that's for a Zig Ziglar quote? Don't forget to watch Jay at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Central Time, though. Jay, for some weird reason, lives in the Central Time Zone, 8 p.m. Central on Tuesdays. I'd love to know what's going on in the auto industry, but I work at that time, so I can't watch the show. I can't wait to see it on replay and see what's happening. I want to thank GP Transco also for being here today on the show and answering questions. If you need a job, they're hiring, okay? They're running dry vans. They've got freight, and they're going to hire, and you know everybody, wherever you go, you're going to get your own hotel room now, so which they always do there. And, of course, if you wear it, make it a parrot. I want to also thank Fleet Nav Systems. They're going to be live tomorrow, apparently, at 3 p.m. Eastern on their YouTube channel. So go over there, call them with a great question that they can answer on their channel, okay? So there. And, oh, I didn't click that. Right. I'm live every Monday at 1 p.m., but I do have to go make my company some money. So what's going on out there? So, yeah, to reward. Okay, still recommend AAA. Okay, good. So you're still rolling. $600 a week for a year. Many mega carriers do it normally. Can do. They're only giving you $600 a week for 4 months extra on unemployment. That's the way I understand it. Over whatever unemployment you're going to get. My opinion, I would not stop at the military. Tried to have me pull over. I'm only going to stop if I see red and blue lights, a police officer. Well, trucking journeys, if it comes down to that, they can go get you, presumably. If they have the authority to stop people, they have the authority to get you. This is the problem of where we give up our rights little by little by little. We give them up. They don't take them. We allow them to do it. We give them up. And now it comes down to this. And eventually they'll just kill you. So that's exactly how that works. The people entertainers are going to suffer, yeah, because they're around other people. Yeah, absolutely. Translady Vlogs, thanks for the shout out today. Yeah, you're quite welcome. I think everybody should go over there and check out the channel, right? Let's go see what you got to say about stuff. Refrigerated trailers are lined up in the New York City hospitals. I know, but they do that here too. That's the thing. Years ago, right, I've worked for Baxter Pharmaceuticals and other medical places, and we've spotted reefer trailers at hospitals for temporary morgues over the years. So it happens. It's not only there. The morgues aren't usually set up to handle that many people. It's not that unusual. I think it's terrible that they're doing that, but I don't find that to be that unusual. What's really weird is that St. Franciscan Hospital here in Lafayette is setting tents up in the parking lot to triage people so that they don't have to go in the emergency room. Anybody with those symptoms or thinks they have the symptoms are supposed to go to that tent and stay away from the emergency room. That's what's happened in the next few weeks. A lot more cases before it finally calms down and we can get back to a little bit to normal. Trucker is going to see if you can't go by Indy when you're working in with your truck, teal truck. I would love to see one. At least go by the other way. Something. Just a glimpse of one to know that they're out there because they're just like so far away. Christina, another great show. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Al Johns, great show. I appreciate it. Thank you. Dave Johnson, see you at Hot Topic. Hey, I'll be there. I first usually stop at Abercrombie because they're closer to the door, and I get my skinny jeans stuff. Then I go on a Hot Topic. I put a hair bun in and go on a Hot Topic. But I'll see you down there, absolutely. Get some crop tops. Military police have red and blues. Right, they'll stop you. Eventually, they'll shoot you. That's the problem. Frog in the warm water set on high. Yikes. We don't want that. We don't like that. George Wilson was first today on my page. Anyway. Well, Bill was here. I appreciate you coming in. Let's see, where did I go off to here? I lose my spot all the time. Okay, the Heady Trucker was here. I appreciate it. Chris Keller, thank you for being here. As I head out, Hunsley was in here today. Thank you for coming in. Al Johns was here today, and I go back here. Christina, thank you again for coming in. Alexandra was here, and I appreciate you being here. I'm glad you're back on the road. Let's get going. Can't be sitting around. The viruses come and catch you like the Langoliers. Everybody remember that show? Everybody can look that show up. Well, we're up. Shante, I appreciate you coming in. So Kenneth Snyder was here. Trucking Journeys. Here, Michael Muller was in today. JJ Godfrey, Wes Rogers. But my company requires that I come in and do things for them. So there's this. Oh, don't forget to join OIDA. You still get $10 off if you call them, right? Today and tomorrow, of course. And they're giving that because there was no truck show. So that's what they're saying about that. And otherwise, I have to go get them some money. There's more videos coming. Everybody stay safe. And do we need to say wash your hands? I don't think so. New York City, I also don't think so on that. So otherwise, stay safe out there. We'll see you on the next Trucking Answers.